Welcome to another edition of Against the Grain Sports Podcast Uncut. And I am your host, Jody Coleman, in the building. We got my man, Jarrell Solo on Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. Man, how you feeling, my guy?
Hey, Jody, look, baby, 70 degrees and sunny outside. I'm out here on the grill getting ready for some football, baby. What's going on, my guy? What's popping today, Jody?
Listen, man. I am so jealous of your weather, but nevertheless, man, it is what it is, man. We got Super Bowl Sunday is here. It's a sweet moment, so it's bittersweet because, of course, the Super Bowl is here, but the bittersweet part of it is the NFL season will come to adjourn this evening. We have the Seattle Seahawks going against the New England Patriots. They say these are the two best teams that the NFL has to offer. Do you agree with that, so?
No, I don't agree with that. I can go with Seattle. I just can't go with New England being the best team in the AFC. But, you know, they earned their spot here for a different reason. So we're going to give them credit for getting there here, but I don't think they're the best team in the AFC. Really good football.
Who is the best team in the AFC then? Like, I mean, who's the best team in the AFC? So I can't let you get out of here without that.
I gotta get time to think about this. It's not New England had a very nice record. They didn't play anybody. They had a last play schedule. Honestly, Joe, I think Buffalo should have been here. I think Buffalo, and I also think if Denver would have had their quarterback, they would have beat. Yeah, but that's good. I'm saying Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos, if they would have had their quarterback, I think they would have beat New England in the AFC Championship game. Just my opinion.
I'm gonna hit you with Drake. Buffalo didn't get out the second. Hey, crazy work. Hey, what's up, Mike? People champ in the building. Eagles, Philly said good morning. Your brothers, keep doing your thing. Stay safe, stay blessed. We got Asia in the building. What's up, sis? We got King Minks in the building, man. What's going on, Mike? How you feeling, my guy? I know you feeling pretty good.
Man, it's just another day in my life. Just, you know, more winning, just continued winning.
I see you got that glow behind you, Mike. I see you got that look. You see like you on cloud 9 right now, brother.
Hey, bro, I'm amongst the clouds, my friend. You know.
That was a great game. I ain't gonna tell you that. That was a great game.
I'm just waiting for Donald to show up. I've got a selection of shirts. I'm going to give an opportunity to determine which shirt he wants to partake. Beautiful day yesterday in college basketball, all the way around, really. But, you know.
Mike, I ain't about to rain on your parade, man, but I ain't never seen somebody celebrate second place or regular season trophy so as much as you do, boy. You celebrate regular season like a motherfucker, boy.
I tell you what.
Hey, you got to celebrate.
You are the James Harden of Against the Grain Sports.
I'm gonna tell you what. I know it hurts out there. I mean, I'm running through the Coleman family like $2 whore because. You know, they talk about what we celebrate, but we're celebrating at their expense. That's the beauty of it all. See, so that's where the beauty of it all And wait till my final take. I got something real special cooked up for these guys today.
You said we got. Hey, you said I got something real fucked up for you. You remember on Coming to America? Like,
oh yeah,
real fucked up for you. But
hey, George, we'll say damn shame what they did to that dog, right?
Damn shame what they did to that dog. Hey, Eagles Philly said, yeah, North Carolina Tar Heels beat the Duke Blue Devils last night. Was a good game. We'll talk about that. My man Paul in the building said happy Super Bowl Sunday to all that celebrate. What's up, Paul?
What's good?
Extra point, man. If you ain't checked out the extra point, man, you need to do so. Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You don't want to miss it. My man Paul, my man Mike, and of course T Sizzle, Tasha in the building. You don't want to miss those guys on Saturday morning. We come on right after those guys at 11 a.m. So you don't want to miss that, and you don't want to miss out on the 1 hour take. That's another show that comes on. You don't want to miss it. It's like a Saturday morning cartoon lineup. Remember back in the day when we used to watch Voltron, He-Man, G.I. Joe, stuff like that. We're bringing that back. We got my nephew who ain't never scared. Donald, the voice of the youth in the building. What's going on, nephew?
I'm chilling, man. Super Bowl Sunday.
I'm going to let y'all get into that in just a moment. Eagles Philly said, y'all hear the news about Atlanta Falcon player? Yeah, we'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about this. We got some we're going to talk about the Super Bowl this week, what we all know, but we also have some NFL news. The NFL Hall of Fame has been announced. We got Drew Brees getting in on first ballot, Larry Fitzgerald getting in on first ballot, Luke Kuechly getting in on, I believe, the second ballot. We got Adam Vinatieri, and we got Roger Craig, guys. Roger Craig finally got into the goddamn Hall of Fame. Roger Craig, that was a long time coming, and we're going to talk about that lineup right there. Also, man, Paul said best lineup is Saturday morning podcast. Y'all are the headliner. Nah, you up there, my boy. Also, we got some NFL news about Kirk Cousins will be released. We'll talk about that, what's going to happen with that situation. Of course, the rookie edge rusher, James Pearson Jr., getting to some legal issues. We'll talk about that. And like I said, of course, and also the Miami Dolphins are looking to trade Tua, and Arizona is looking to trade Kyler Murray on top of NBA Game of the Week. And also some college basketball that we had last night, man. So let's get right into it, man. Let's dive into some college. We'll get to the NFL in a moment. Let's get to the college basketball because college basketball was on fire yesterday, guys. And we got the number 14 North Carolina Tar Heels over the number 4 Duke Blue Devils, 71-68. Big time 3-point shot by Seth Tribble in the corner. A guy that stayed with the North Carolina Tar Heels. He didn't transfer through the transfer portal. Could have went to whatever school he wanted to go to, but he stayed at Tar Heel. Great moment. I'm going to go ahead. Mike, since you won, you get first dibs on this game.
Well, thank you, Jody. Every year we get ourselves ready for the greatest rivalry in all of sports, and we all know what it is. It's the Carolina-Duke game. Schools are 8 miles apart. But for me, it's like going out in the backyard with your little brother every year, twice a year, and he scrawls and cracks and he tries so hard and he wants to beat you so bad because he idolizes you. He wants to be you. And that's great to set a standard for your little brother. I went through the standard the other day of the national championships and all that stuff. And last night was just another example of why you leave Big Brother alone when you have a chance to, because he'll take you out back and take your heart out, just snatch your heart. You know how Jody, when you had the ball up here and you let your little brother, you keep going like this, and you get, and then you just drop the hammer on it. Game on, get the fuck out of here. Go on. I got to go on a date. I ain't got time to keep fooling with you. And that's about how it was when Seth Trimble hit that corner, but we weren't disappointed with the freshman. Boozer did what I thought that he would do. He played at the level I thought he would play at. And I'm totally in alignment with Caleb Wilson being the better NBA prospect. You can see the athleticism differential between the two for the NBA. But as far as college basketball players, we got what we wanted last night. No one disappointed. Those guys went at it. You couldn't ask for anything more except for that weak little shot Boozer tried to put up at the end against that massive man in the lane, Vasar, who just punished him in the second half in the paint. Just kept backing him down and backing him down.
Hey, when you banging a man, banging
him, yeah.
Hey, Mikey's got to be related to Charles Barkley.
Hey, I want to know how Donald felt watching his man getting banged in the lane. That's what I want.
Whoa. That's crazy work. Hey, my man Paul said it's going to be a great tournament. He said great game yesterday. He said, but sorry, Mike, there's one rival that stands above the rest of hate between Ohio State and Michigan on the gridiron. But college basketball is number one. Donald, go ahead. Give me your rebuttal on this, man. I know North Carolina, y'all was in control this whole game. And then they led the game for 1.4 seconds. And that's all it took for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Talk to me, Donald.
Same thing. Well, if you go back to prior shows that I've been saying, Boozer is the worst top player we ever had. He's not a star. He don't have like star power. He can't explode, pause, and get off the ground and finish. And that's exactly what it came to in the end. He can't finish.
He can't explode or finish. That's crazy.
No. Caleb, like I've been saying, like my friends in the text group, I've been telling them, they said, you have been saying it. He's not in the same category as the other freshmen. Like they're light years better than him. And that's just what it is. Duke, we don't have any we don't have anybody who can get a real bucket. Boozer is we're forcing a role player. He's just a good role player to be a star. And his dad, and he's grown up under Duke and all this. And that's just what we have. And then we'll see what happens. We just get to losing to anybody.
Crazy work, man. So what do you think about that, man? That's a very interesting take. But this is a very consistent take by Donald. This ain't something because they lost. This has been a consistent take. I mean, we was at Thanksgiving. He was telling me, and I was like, nah, I didn't agree with him, but now I'm starting to see some of the things he's talking about. So talk to me about this game.
Well, I hear a lot of excuses out of Donald. Donald, you are the number 4 team in the country. This is only your second loss. Hey, how can you sit there and say we're gonna lose anybody? You lost to a really good North Carolina team. Just give them credit. They got you yesterday. Y'all had a lead. You blew the lead. You get a revenge game, and maybe y'all play again in the ACC tournament. It was a good basketball game. But, hey, I do like the way North Carolina didn't quit. Duke did. I agree with you. I wasn't very impressed with Boozer yesterday. He looked like he like an old man on the court. Like he's been growing his beard since he was 10. He looked like he's been shaving for a really long time. Good basketball game. North Carolina didn't quit. They had the home court advantage. You guys play them again, and you guys are playing home. So we'll see what happens then.
No doubt. Hey, Teresa said, go Patriots. Said, how you doing? Hope she's doing well. Teresa in the building. Eagles Philly said, Seattle Seahawks, they got something for the cheating ass Patriots. And we'll get to that momentarily. Right. In this particular matchup between North Carolina and Duke, this was a classic installment of two teams. It don't matter what the fucking record was. I mean, Duke looked like they were just going to run away with this game. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny to me, though, because Donald's talking about Cam Boozer, which he's been very consistent on. But Mike was just ready to get rid of Hubert Davis just a couple days ago. I don't know what's going on. And Hubert Davis drew up one of the best plays I've ever seen to end the game. That was actually classic. He put Tribble in the corner. He broke down the defense. Because I thought they was going to go with my guy. What's my guy, Mike Davis? Dixon. I thought it was going to go with Dixon, Derek Dixon, because he's the best three-point shooter on their roster. I thought that's who they were going to go with, but they didn't. They used him as a decoy, and they went opposite corner over to Seth Tribble. Great game, great execution. I'm not taking anything away from Duke. I think Shire is a great coach. I think he is a carbon copy of Coach K. I think that, like I said, Boozer is not that athletic, but Boozer knows how to win, and arguably he has one of the best resumes up to the date of high school and AAU and college, losing only 2 games, losing in the last second to – you got to think he lost the last second to North Carolina and last second to Texas Tech. We're talking about 2 teams that's going to go very deep into the tournament. Home court really matters because you see they stormed the court and the game wasn't over. Somebody got punched in the face. People was not happy with that, but I can't wait to see what was it next week, Mike? They play again next week, I believe, or something like that.
Not next week. They play again next month on March the 7th. We'll go down to our other home court. We'll be at Caleb Love Court in a few weeks.
Wow.
My feelings about it is another thing I feel about it is I actually, like I've been saying the whole year, I don't feel like we have a team to win it. So I'm not that upset. When you like last year, I really felt like we had stars to win it. I was upset. I was crushed. I was hurt. But this year, like Jody says at the beginning of the year, I've been saying we don't have it. We don't have a player, a standout. We don't. I just look at it like we just don't have it. So it's not as upsetting when you feel like you have a team to win it. Last year, I felt like we could have, but this year I'm looking like we winning games, but I just don't see it at all.
You get hot in the tournament, man. I mean, I think you'll be fine.
So I think this is a cry for help. This is, I want a soft landing when we fail again. And I said it already. I knew we weren't that good. I knew we weren't that good with the #1 recruiting class in all of America. I knew we weren't that good with the player of the year in college basketball. I knew we weren't that good with the ACC front-running player of the year. I knew we really weren't that good. We just, we just beat a bunch of bums along the way. And when we found out, when we came across a good team, we lost. That's what it sounds like to me. At the end of the day, the only difference that happened in the first half and the second half, North Carolina made 3 3-pointers in the first half. They were 3 of 13 from behind the arc. North Carolina's last 3 shots were all made 3-point shots, which brought them from 6 down to tied to a 3-point win. And they did a little bit better on the defensive end. Duke has a good college basketball team. They're capable of winning a tournament. And we're not going to let this be poo-pooed or soured by sour milk down here, because he doesn't want to face the fact that still we are their daddy. We are their daddy. The paternity test is in. We have 28 more wins against them than they've ever beaten us. More national championships, a better brand, and that's just it. It's okay to be second fiddle.
Well, what you using all that stuff, it's no use in us even talking about today, because even if we won yesterday, y'all would have still had 27. So it don't matter. That's your cop out right there. That's your cop out right there. There's no sense even discussing it. But
I'm a win-win situation here. 2 things can be true at once.
You know what?
We kicked y'all's ass last night, and we normally kick y'all's ass.
If that's the case, we don't got to talk nothing else about it. You're in a win-win situation. Ain't no use talking about it. Second of all, when the biggest problem is we don't have anybody who can create and get around nobody. Therefore, Carolina only had 1 team foul the whole second half. You can't beat nobody off the bounce. They can guard you without dribbling. We don't have that. You cannot win with a player who can't do anything.
So
y'all led the whole game. Carolina won by 3. That was their biggest lead in the game.
Because they're bad too. It doesn't trying to realize they're not good. They're bad too.
I think they're both really good basketball teams. They could both of the teams could win the tournament.
Or they both teams couldn't win the tournament. It's just this rivalry. It doesn't matter what the talent level, what the records are. You're going to get this type of basketball game. I remember in the mid-90s.
That's true.
I remember in the mid-90s, and Mike, you're a big-time North Carolina fan. Remember when Duke had Wojciechowski and Ricky Price? They just was not that good, but they still pulled out a victory against, I want to say they had Jameson and they had Vince Carter. And everybody is scratching their head like, how the fuck did they lose?
Rasheed Wallace.
Rasheed Wallace, that was with Jerry Stackhouse. I'm talking about when they went against Ricky, when Duke had that span, I believe it, Donald, what was it, like 94? It was a post-Christian Laettner, Bobby Hurley, Grant Hill, and they had Wojciechowski and Ricky Price, and you like, they beat North Carolina, they had Jameson and had Vince Carter and Ed Cody. You like, what the?
Yeah,
what?
That was 95, 96.
Yeah.
Was it Tracy Langdon on those teams?
No, yeah. Langdon got there in 97, right, Mike? No,
Langdon got there around about 96. He's part of that wave that came after
Elton Brand and them.
But they had like a 2-year span, so where they had Wojciechowski. I like Ricky Price, but Ricky Price wasn't that good. But that was their best player was Ricky Price.
Hey, Dick Vitale said one of the craziest things on air. I'll never forget it, and it became true. Wojo got a bucket and was getting back and doing the Duke slap the floor on defense shit at Chapel Hill. And Vitale says, look at Wojo. He's going to make a great coach one day.
Yo, hey, Wojo was a very polarizing player for Duke, but he wasn't that talented. But yeah, let's keep it moving, man. Great stuff, guys. and we'll be revisiting this next month. And I can't wait. Donald, can't wait to the shirt that you have to wear.
Oh yeah, I will. Oh man.
But
I
Solo
got a
Sports, we had
Smeaton
another.
sleeve.
I'll be the worst dressed man in America.
We had another good game between two guys that's gonna go in the top 5 with Houston's Kingston Flemings win against AJ Dubansky. Once again, BYU comes up short after going 16-0. They're 1-6 in their last 7 games. So, can we say that BYU possibly could be on the bubble?
No, I think they'll make the tournament, but I think it's frustrating for them since they lost this game at home. Houston went in there and controlled the tempo of the basketball game the entire time. Kingston Fleming, man, this dude's going to be legit in the NBA. I like this game. It's a matchup between 2 top 5 picks in the draft. Very impressive. Houston got the win this time, but I think BYU will still make the tournament.
Yeah. Donald, what did you think about this game? Because I watched it from start to finish, and that BYU bench is very, very short. There's not a lot of players outside their top 3 guys that can give them anything. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I watched this game after the Carolina game, and you know the difference I seen? These boys got 2 players. Fleming and Dubansky are real NBA players. But Houston's just better than them. Houston just more well-rounded. BYU, they coming up short. They just don't have enough. Like outside of as far as creating with the ball. They go to Dubansky, and if not, and I just didn't like the coaching decision. I don't know who decision. I guess they wanted before the 4-minute mark. I think they cut it to like 1 or 2, and they took them out. And it wasn't a dead ball for like a minute and a half. And I think that they were gonna bring him back in sooner, and they end up going down. It was like a 6-2 or 7-3 run or something like that. And you go down 4 points. 30-second shot clock is a long time with in college basketball. So if you go from down 2 to down 5 or 6 in that 2-minute span, where he's on the bench, I just feel like you should have. I feel like you kind of outcoached yourself trying to take him out, and then you don't get a dead ball, and you can't foul because they in the bonus to give away a point.
Yeah, he's an NBA guy too. Mike, what do you think about this? Houston's defense looked amazing, perimeter and post. They really made it extremely hard for AJ to score, and they just shut down Richie Saunders completely in this game. Talk to me, Mike.
Well, if you're going to play against Kevin Sampson, you have to know that you're going to play against a great defensive team. That's his hallmark. Houston ain't known, and Sampson's not known for being a creative offensive guy that where, 40 minutes of hell where they're going to get up and down and do all this stuff. No, it's going to be, he's almost Tom Izzo reincarnated because that's what they're going to do. They're going to grind you out, play physical. BYU is like the dude that went out with that girl, and he's not badly hung, but he's just not enough.
Mike, what the fuck's going on here, Mike?
He's used to something a little bit different, and he's just not enough. Doesn't mean he's bad. Doesn't mean he's not, have potential to be good for someone else. But for this particular thing, and sad part about it, you only got what you got. You're not going to get any more.
At
BYU, that's where BYU is. They got
BYU don't got to worry about using it.
And that's all they got. They can't go no. When she's hollering deeper, he's like, no, that's it. I'm done. And that's
all I
what
got.
it is with BYU. They're a good basketball team, but they are not athletically great. And when they come up against teams that have better athletes, typically more brothers than Richie Cunningham, ain't gonna do it. You gotta go get some help, and you can't do that in college basketball.
I will say this, Mike. I think Richie Saunders is the only really white guy in their rotation, though. I mean, let's be real. They got Robert Williams, Robert Wright III from Baylor, the point guard that played with Cooper Flag a couple years ago in AAU. They got, like I said, they got Dubansky. They got your guy down low, Keita. They got Davis. This is their rotation, so we can't say they don't have a lot of athleticism because they do.
When they rotate and start going into the bench, they're not bringing off high caliber athletes off the bench to spell those guys. And once those guys are out, they don't get any points. They don't get anything out of it. That's where the real problem is with their team. It's not their frontline guys. It's the depth of the team. And that team lacks a degree of athleticism as you go further down the roster. That's
it's BYU though. BYU spent all their money on AJ. Paul said it will be very interesting to see these super freshmen fare against these older mid-major in the early rounds. Should be cinema. We should get to see that. He said, Mike, with the analogy, crying, laughing. So on sports, real quick before we go to the next game. This game right here, does Houston have a championship caliber team this year?
Yes, because they got a good mixture of young and older players. So I think they got a great mixture. I know lately, Sampson, the head coach, has been complaining about the NIL. He's begging them to put more money into the programs. They can get better players. But yeah, I think right now, they have a good mixture of players that can make a run in the tournament.
Yeah, in this game right here, Houston defense, man, I was watching it, and it looked like all their guys were in the straight jacket. Now I watched games early on in the season where Richie Saunders was just getting his shot off at will, and he could not get a clean look all night last night. And when you crowd a shooter, because I'm a shooter, when you crowd a shooter, it makes it quite frustrating when that's your go-to move. And that was my go-to move as a shooter. I had a little bit of athleticism, of course, I could jump, but I wasn't that great off the dribble. That was not my strength. If you read my scouting report, me and Richie Saunders' scouting report is similar. If you crowd us, we gonna have trouble. And that's what he had in this game. And I don't think I agree with Donald when he said they took out AJ Dabanska. My thing is, a guy like that, you got to play him the whole game. You know you needed him the whole game. You couldn't spell him. What you could have did is maybe rotated him on defense. He could have played somebody that wasn't that good offensively, so he could have rested on the defensive end. But taking him out the game was not a smart decision. It could have cost him the game, and it could have. And I'm saying this, they're 1-6 in their last 7 matchups, and it's not getting any easier because guess who still comes? They got to still play Arizona again. They still got Kansas. It's not getting any easier in the Big 12, and they can fuck around and find out and be 19 and 12, and they'll get in because they got star power. But they're gonna get a fucked up seed. Go ahead, Mike.
I had a question for the panel. Who at this point, we're about little bit, probably further than the halfway point, who is the best freshman that you've seen in college basketball?
Go ahead, so.
Oh, I gotta get time overall ever.
Oh no, I'm saying in this year's class.
Well, I'm biased. I'm gonna go Fleming. I'm a little bit biased, but yeah, I'm gonna go Fleming.
Donald,
I think Darren Peterson. Okay, I think Darren Peterson is head and shoulders better than the rest of them guys.
He's good.
Mike, who you think?
For reasons that won't sound like reasons, but I'll say it anyway. I think the player with the most upside that I've seen out of the top 5 guys is Caleb Wilson. Jody, you said that earlier in the year. I kind of wanted to see what he looked like against these other guys. They played BYU in a nationally televised preseason game. He had 28 points. He kind of outshined the Bands in that game. Then they played Peterson. They beat Peterson. They played Boozer. They beat Boozer. He has this mentality that he wants to actually be the best. So a little cramping ain't going to keep him out. That, for me, is Peterson's thing. But now he's, I guess, starting to play whole games now. But that at this point of the season, now we got a whole, we still got another half and tournament to see. But right now, if I'm a GM and I'm looking at the intangibles, the skill set, the whole thing all together right now, then yeah, I'm taking Wilson because he's beating all of these guys.
Real quick, Certified Queen in the building. She said, I'm going for the halftime team. Hey, she said, hey, fellas, what's going on, Certified Queen? She said, Paul said, will Arizona enter the tournament undefeated? I think so. It's going to be – it's hard to go undefeated, but they don't know no better over there. All them young players, so Paul, they don't know no better. Paul said, Jody, I was self-scouting report. And then he said Peterson's health concern reminds him of getting Ja Morant vibes. Right now, I'm still on the Caleb Williams bandwagon as probably being the best player. But I'm going to tell you a player that really has snuck up and really, when we look at the next level, Donald, Darius A. Cup Jr. gives me vibes that he could be a bona fide rookie of the year. This guy can shoot the three. He defends extremely well, and he makes everybody on his team better. But if I'm drafting, of course, Mike, I'm still going with Caleb Wilson with my number 1 draft pick, if possible, man.
So, one thing about the NBA though, draft is different from the NFL. They'll draft players that play the same position because, hey, this dude's best player in the draft. I'm gonna go ahead and draft him. Yeah. What I do like about the NFL don't really do that, but the NBA, I think If I already got a really good guard, I'm gonna draft another one. Shit, you can never have enough good guards, and since it's positionless basketball we're playing now.
Yeah, like
Hey,
some
Jody,
people.
go ahead, Donald.
Okay, no, I was saying like if certain players depends on who got the pick, and it depends on like the Utah Jazz. It don't matter if they get the #1 pick, they're getting AJ. It doesn't matter who's there it's just
Yeah.
certain people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just
No matter who I got.
certain teams are just that's your guy. You've been paying this guy for 2-3 years. The Jazz have, so this is what it is.
Wow! Whoa! What did you just say?
I'm saying, who you think the top booster for BYU is?
What? Ain't that tampering, Donald?
I'm saying, okay, who you got to think the guy played for Utah Elite basketball. He's been.
I get it, but doesn't that like compromise the NBA if that's what's going on?
Oh man, that's just what happens in sports. That's what's gonna happen. There's no way around.
The very moment that I heard the banter was going to BYU.
Come on now.
And because the schools that were in the mix, of course, was Carolina, a couple other schools, and BYU. And then this motherfucker goes to BYU. I'm like, and then I found out he was playing on the Utah. What black kid do you know that's not from Utah plays for Utah Elite, then goes to Brigham Young University
and get $7 million?
Yo,
BYU.
It's cool, but I'm just like, hey man, come on now. Y'all know what time it is. And
money talks, baby. Money talks. Always.
But it's showing out too, though. You can buy one player, but you gotta have multiple players.
But they did buy Robert Wright III. Remember, he came from Baylor and he played with Cooper Flagg on their elite team. So I'm pretty sure they shelled out a bunch of dollars to get him over there too.
I definitely get it. But what I really wanted to say, Jody, was so yesterday I'm watching this game and we know Peterson is a walking bucket. Like the dude wake up and he's 20 points, automatically. But I'm just mesmerized by the shot making ability of Caleb Wilson. Like this dude's footwork. He's got a 4-year defensive guy in Brown just jumping around you know what I'm saying, with the head fakes. And then he's got the ability to extend and then follow through on his shot and make shots. When you're a shot maker like that at 6'10", 6'11", that's crazy. That's unbelievable.
And he's still trying. He still don't have an NBA body yet. I think he gets stronger at the next level. That's gonna be crazy work right there.
I was looking at him as a more developed, like Kevin Garnett type of player.
That's what they were saying. It's like he was reincarnated.
No, he really that for sure.
But let's keep it moving. Soul on Sports. There we talking about freshmen. There was another freshman that was showcased in this game, Keaton Wagler for the number 5 Illinois. But the person that shined in this game was Jeremy Fears Jr. with 26 points and 15 assists. The first time in Big Ten history that anybody ever did that. And we're talking about Magic Johnson. We're talking about Sean Rashford. We talking about all these great players that came out of the Big Ten. He was the first person to ever do it. Michigan State looked like a prison team, but they scored 85 points because everything is just scrappy with those guys. Talk to me about this game.
Yeah, I didn't get to see the game, but I already know how their coach gets down, man. He's old school. Like you said, their players may not be 4 and 5 stars, but they're going to bring it every single game. That's the only way their coach is going to allow them to play basketball. So you're going to get a lot of tough, old school, tough fouls. You're going to earn every bucket when you play Michigan State. I do know that for a fact.
No doubt. Paul said, excellent hoop segment, fellas. He said talent over needs. He said talent over needs in the NBA draft. Totally agree with you. SOS, Soul on Sports. And he said Wilson will posterize his own mama. Donald, talk to me about this game, man. This was a really good game, but both teams down the stretch. Great Tom Izzo made some mistakes that he got away with in this game, coaching wise. Talk to me, Donald.
He always get away with some mistakes that he get away with. But no, I'm watching the game. What's the kid from the freshman? How you pronounce his name from Illinois?
Wagler.
You get solid looks and you shoot 1 for 12, and they depend on you're not going to win the game. I feel like that's just flat out what it came down to. Illinois had control for most of the game, but it was back and forth. It was tight. It was tight, back and forth, back and forth. It was a real good game. We like it tight, but it was a real good game. But when it comes down to you gotta make a shot, especially when it's somebody who we're dependent on. I look up and you're 1 for 12, and then you miss the front end of a 1-and-1 one time. Is kind of unacceptable. And that's what it comes down to. But Fears played great though. He controlled the ball. He controlled the game from start to finish, scoring and distributing.
But hold on, Donald. They were missing Boswell, their lead guard. He was out. That's normally the guy that would took the pressure off of the freshman, and he wasn't there. So I think that probably played a huge part because now he had to create and he had to get his own shot off. So that he's still a freshman. If you look at his body, he's real frail. He still needs to he needs to hit the weight room for sure this summer. Mike, what do you think? I know you just dropped the Michigan State hat on. Talk to me about this game. You had your boy Andre Hudson, who you coach, big shout out to Trotwood's Andre Hudson, that won a championship. Matter of fact, Michigan State last championship that they won. Talk to me, Mike, about this game.
Yeah, I've got a lot of family ties to Michigan State, and I am in a household where I have to represent Michigan State from time to time. So when they're winning, that's when I say, when we're winning over here, we literally mean it. So Michigan State, Jeremy Fears, he is the heart and soul of that team. I don't give a fuck what nobody, they talking about he plays dirty, he's the new Draymond Green and all this shit. I don't mind the kid that's going to leave his life on the court as opposed to losing. And if it goes over the edge sometimes, then fuck it, give me the tech and I'm cool with it. Because what I hate and what I saw a little bit in another game was one team was going after the game while the other team was coasting along, No, I need all 5 guys diving on loose balls. I need all 5 guys setting the hard screens. I need all 5 guys ready to fight for the world. And that's what Michigan State does.
Mike, you need all 5 of them? Bro, one at a time. Are they all at one time or you going to take your turn? What we doing?
Gang bang.
Wow.
Bang bang.
Yo, that's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Like the 5 guys like the hamburger place, huh? Like that, Mike?
Yeah, and one more thing about Michigan State.
Don't be shy.
Every year I'm watching Michigan State, I see a player, because Michigan State always has one basketball player and a bunch of goons out there. The basketball player on their team just got inserted into the starting lineup 2 games ago. It's a kid named Scott. Mm-hmm. He's about 6'6". He can shoot, he can defend, but he plays like a Michigan State freshman. It took him a little time to realize, dude, you are the best basketball player on this team. So act like it. You don't have to wait and defer to Kohler and Cooper and all these other guys. Go do what you do. So since they put him in the starting lineup, he's giving them double figures every game. And he really looks like he's going to be a guy that shines in that system as a pure basketball player, along with Jeremy Fears, who I think should be up for Player of the Year in college basketball because he's one of the tops in assists, and he is the heart and soul of that Michigan State team.
Michigan State, man, Illinois, you got what you asked for in this game. It's a Big Ten battle. It's a bloodbath. But this is the problem, Mike, and you can agree or disagree. This is the reason why the Big Ten has not won a fucking championship since fucking Michigan State 25, 26 years ago. There is a lack of athleticism in the Big Ten. And the most athletic player in the Big Ten is the freshman Wagler from Illinois. And he is built like he's still in middle school. His body he's still got a high school body, but he can play the game at a high level. The Big Ten is a lack of athleticism. You look at Michigan State team, there's a lack of athleticism. Can they play the game as a collective group? Yeah, but that's why they can't win a championship. You look at Indiana. You look at Ohio State. You look at Michigan. As good as Michigan is, who is Michigan's most athletic player? Let's be real. If you go to the SEC and the Big 12 and the ACC, they're light years above the Big Ten when it comes to athleticism in the Big Ten basketball. Now, football is different. But basketball, I'm keeping it all the way real. I know y'all don't like to hear it out here, Big Ten country. I'm a Big Ten guy. Get some fucking athletes on y'all goddamn team. Y'all let a motherfucker out of Canton, Ohio, go to Kansas. How the fuck you let somebody go from Canton, Ohio to fucking Kansas, Ohio State? I don't give a fuck if Michigan would have got him. I don't give a fuck Indiana. I know Indiana got some deep pockets. Y'all listen, man. Anyway, back to this game. Back to this game. Michigan State earned this game. Illinois is missing their lead guard. That's what the difference was, I believe, in this game. Fears was able to control this game from start to finish. I think Izzo tried to say he was going to suspend him. No, Izzo wasn't. Izzo loved every fucking minute of the way that Jeremy Fears is playing. Y'all better cut. Don't let him fool you. I'm going to suspend. No, the fuck he wasn't. He wasn't.
Not a
What I
chance.
tell you, what I always say, discipline only matters when you're not that good. Ain't nothing gonna happen to him.
Not a goddamn thing. Go ahead,
Hey,
Mike.
Jody, I knew Illinois was in trouble. They had a substitution timeout. They came back. It was 5 white guys on the court at one time. I said the only team I seen look like this is the Lakers because they the only other team in sports is playing 5 white guys at one time. And I don't have nothing wrong with it. I'm not racist or anything, but even white guys will tell you,
Yeah,
we got 5 white guys on the court. We not
Not much slam dunking going on, huh?
Hey, have y'all ever seen Purdue's roster? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, have y'all, the Big Ten absolutely don't have any athleticism, and they're letting their best players go elsewhere. You got Darren Peterson. I know he went to the prep school, right, Donald?
Yeah, he's from Canton though.
But he's from Canton. Ohio State should have said, you know what? I'm sending LeBron James to your house. I'm doing something because LeBron James is a Ohio State fan. So I'm like, what can we do to get this guy? I don't give a fuck. He played 20 minutes. That's better than the athleticism that you got on any name. Okay, I'm gonna go around the horn. So name me an athletic motherfucker in the Big Ten. I'll wait.
There aren't any. But thing is, though, Jordan, I don't think they put money into. And I don't think the Big Ten cares about basketball that much. Honestly, I really think that's the issue.
Not when you got Indiana. Indiana is the mecca of basketball, and they have not won a championship since 1987.
It was the mecca of basketball.
I'm talking about college basketball because that's where the Hall of Fame is at. Indiana has not won a championship since 87, and in between that, Michigan State, Michigan, and Indiana are the only Big Ten teams who have won a championship in the last since I've been born. Mike, give me an athletic player out of the Big Ten. I'll wait.
Well, that's the same thing I'd be trying to tell you about Ohio State. Since you've been born, you've only seen 3 championships,
What the
which
fuck
is
they gonna do with
all 5
athletic?
of Miami's. But anyway, I digress. Carr for Michigan State is the best athlete in maybe college basketball. When you see his highlight reel of him dunking and, you know, all of that, number 55 for Michigan State, but that tells you everything you need to know. What real hooper wears number 55? I don't know. But he does, and he's an athlete. But his athleticism versus the rest of the conference is miles apart. And he's not a great basketball player. He's a really good athlete. But you asked about athleticism, so they may have the most athletic player in the country at Michigan State, but he just doesn't have to be a great basketball player. He's a great highlight reel guy. He's going to get a dunk, and it's going to be nasty every game. But if you look at what these teams have done, imitation is the highest form of flattery. So look at Michigan State. They've been the best team in the Big Ten in basketball consistently for about 20 years now, right? And what did Izzo do? He built a brand of brawny bruisers that set screens that are physical around one basketball player, and y'all play off of that. So look at his 2 guys right now, Kohler and Cooper, 2 big white guys. So what did everybody else in the league do? They went and got a bunch of big bruising white guys and went one basketball player, and they're trying to out-thug Michigan State at how they play basketball, and it doesn't work, and it damn sure doesn't work in the tournament.
They just got to look beyond the Big Ten and start focusing on Dukes and North Carolinas of the fucking world. Donald, name an athletic player in the Big Ten outside of Carr.
That's all I can think of. They just got all bruisers, which is not basketball. I don't that's well point I always be making. They don't have skill guys. They don't have athleticism. You don't win in basketball with that. Bruisers are just for soft people. If you let bruisers, intimidation is overrated. If you let somebody intimidate you, just soft. So that's the only way you're gonna win. If you only got bruisers, you don't have no basketball players, you can't win.
That's the only person that was able to succeed with that is the Detroit Pistons. But let's keep it moving, man, so we can get to the NFL portion real quick. We got some games. Michigan, number 2 in the country. They're going against Ohio State. Ohio State is firmly on the bubble. They don't win this game, they'll get swept by Michigan, and I think their bubble will burst. Who you got so in this game?
Wolverines.
You got the Wolverine. Mike, who you got in this one?
As much as I hate to do it, I'm gonna have to go with Michigan. And Elliott Cadeau is there, and they're a better team than they were last year. But I hate Michigan in pretty much every sport, minus the Fab Five. I wouldn't root for Michigan on.
Don't you have a Michigan State hat on?
But that's different.
I know I'm fucking with him.
Yeah, the Michigan State is the state school. I like them. I ain't never liked Michigan.
Do you like them, Michael? You've been told to like them.
Let me tell you something. I didn't like Glenn Rice.
What?
I hate Ramil Robinson.
Wow.
They beat my Tar Heels in the regional final. And it broke my heart. Glenn Rice shot the lights out. Like I was like, good Lord. I mean, is this man gonna miss? And then they beat my Flying Illini after that. And so I've not liked Michigan since 1985, when they did have one guy I liked, which was Antoine Jobert, but y'all don't know nothing about that Michigan team at all, because all y'all too young for that. But I did like Antoine Jobert and that Michigan team.
You talking about when they had Curtis Taylor? When they had Ice-T, Curtis Taylor from Dayton?
I like the Fab Five. Fab Five was a cultural experience. You know, they were like
he was there before the Fab Five. Curtis Taylor was there before the Fab Five. But
he played with them because he got hurt, and then his career ended up extending into the time that they were there. When they all got put in the starting lineup, Kurt got moved to the bench, and he got funny stories about how Fisher came in and was like, "Boys, here's the starting lineup," and walked out the locker room, and him and the little short dude Caleb and Riley, they all have been moved to the bench. They wasn't in the starting lineup. That's how they found out they wasn't in the starting lineup.
That's crazy work. Hey, Paul said Yanni Bird, Lindenberg has the best NFL athleticism by May's system holds him back. Donald, who you got in this game? Number 2, Michigan or Ohio State?
Well, if this was Ohio State counting on for their bubble, not the Birds, they need to count no more. Michigan gonna beat the hell out of them today.
Yeah, they hung with them tough about a week ago when they played, and we're gonna see if John Mobley can have a 30-point performance. He started off having that type of game in the first half, and then they D'd him up in his pause.
Oh, shit.
They put the D on him in the second half, but it is in Ohio State Stadium. It's going to be loud there, but yeah, I think Ohio State, they did get this kid that in the McDonald All-American game. They should change their fortune, but this year it's just not going to happen. Michigan's on the mission. They will beat them. It ain't like football. I don't really give a fuck as much. It's not football, so I really don't give a shit.
The only thing important in Ohio right now is what's happening for spring ball.
That's crazy.
Donald, number 13, Texas Tech, who really needs a victory, even though they're 16-6. Christian Anderson should be back in the lineup. They play West Virginia. West Virginia is definitely on the bubble. They got a big win. Their biggest win is against Kansas early on in the season. Who do you like in this matchup, Donald?
I like Texas Tech. I actually think Texas Tech is a bigger contender than people say. They got dropped a couple games, but I just don't see it in Virginia. I'm gonna go with Texas Tech.
Okay. King Mink said that he said Michigan wins. Mike, who you got in this matchup? Texas Tech or West Virginia?
I'm going with Texas Tech. I mean, it's just like college football. Like the odds of teams not losing and having these records that, like, when we used to grow up, teams be like 25-2 and this and that. If you lose 5 to 8 games in this world now, you still could win a national championship. And I think Texas Tech is cut from that cloth. So I'm picking them to win today. No knock on West Virginia at all, but I just think Texas Tech is the better team and they will win.
So who you got? And is this going to be a surprise pick? Who you got in this game?
No, I'm going Wreck. I'm going Texas Tech. It's not easy to win in West Virginia's environment, but I'm gonna go Texas Tech though.
Yeah, I'm going to go Texas Tech as well, man. They get Christian Anderson, who I think is one of the top lead guards in the country. He was out the last game that they still could have won. They lost that game in the last second after they controlled that game. Texas Tech bounced back, and JT Toppins is good as advertised, man. He's a really good ball player.
Quick story about West Virginia, right? I remember Juwan was playing there. We went to a game. So, the day before, there wasn't no game. I'm like, what y'all do down here? He's like, man, you just nothing. Like, what you mean nothing? I said, so I don't understand how y'all don't win every home game y'all play. Y'all should be so locked in. It's just nothing to do. Like, what do y'all do? Be locked in.
Well, you know your grandfather's from West Virginia. I don't think he would like that too much.
Hey, Donald.
He was running back and forth.
Yeah.
I know how that goes.
Yeah.
My grandfather was from Arkansas, and he was running back and forth. I get it.
Yeah, my dad is from West Virginia. His grandfather.
So my brother went to camp at West Virginia for football. We had to take him down to West Virginia. Hey man, when I tell you that Morgantown is in the middle, it's almost like Penn State. If you've ever been to Penn State, you will be riding off the highway and you see nothing. Then you see the Emerald City, and when you go out the other side, it's nothing. The only thing in Penn State in Happy Valley is the school. And that's the same way in Morgantown. Maybe it's a little bit different now, but it was more to do when I went to Huntington, West Virginia, where Marshall is. It was way more to do like there than there was for West Virginia.
Hey, Mike, shout out to Beckley, West Virginia. That's where my daddy from. There's some shit to do down there because he wouldn't have had so many of us if it wasn't. There's a lot of us that don't live in Dayton. I'm just going to say that. Big shout out to my little brother, Jonathan, that lives down there. My actual brother from my actual another mother. Let's keep it moving, man. Let's go NBA real quick before we get to the bread and butter of the show in the NFL. We got a game of the day. It's between Jay Kane's New York Knicks at 33-19 against Mike's Boston Celtics at 34-18. Batman going to Gotham City. Ain't that kind of like fitting, Mike? Who you got in this matchup right here?
Hey, brother, if you see how this vision is coming together, Jaylen Brown will be the league MVP by the end of this season. And I think today's game is going to showcase his bid for MVP as the Celtics steal a win from the Knicks, who I guess settled on Cat. They're going to run it back. They're going to run it the rest of the season how they are because there's no more moves to make. And you're going to see that armor being further chinked today when White and Brown and the rest of the fighting Celtics come through and take down the Knicks.
So who you got in this matchup? This is basically whoever wins, I believe, is going to be in second place in the Eastern Conference behind Detroit. Who do you like in this matchup?
Did we see the bloody cat the other day? The cat was bleeding on the court. Did you guys see it?
I'm not about to fuck with you.
Yeah, it was bloody. But I think he passed that up with, I don't know what he put on there, but Mike, we talked about that. Yeah, he passed him up, so he's
that only happens once a month.
I think he's over his cycle and he's ready to dominate the Boston Celtics today. So I'm gonna go the Knicks over the Celtics.
Hey, so did you ever have a red towel for a bleeding cat?
Yeah, you gotta, sometimes it's a crime scene, brother. Yeah, like that.
Hey, King Ming said Jaylen Brown is the MVP for Just for Men company. I'm not touching that. King Ming's your wild boy. Donald, what do you think in this game right here? Knicks 33-19, Celtics 34-18. They separated by one game in the standings.
I like the Knicks today. Not saying that. I think they about equal teams. I think the Celtics just made a move and they still getting more so acclimated with each other. And the Knicks lost by about 30 the other night. So usually when a team loses like that, they usually come back fighting with some fire. So I think they're probably gonna win the day. Not saying who's better or not. They pretty evenly matched to me, but I think the Knicks will win today. Just coming off the 30, whatever they lost by the other night, got beat out of them by the Knicks. By Detroit.
Hey, Mike, this reminds me of the 1994-95 season when Michael Jordan retired and Scottie Pippen was almost the lead MVP. That's what it reminds me of, because when the actual best player is out of the lineup for the Boston Celtics, so this guy actually gets more shots. But I'm joking. I'm fucking with you, Mike. And this matchup right here, I like the Knicks in this one. The reason why I do is because Jalen Brunson, it's a lot of turmoil going we don't know about in New York with signing players. Jalen Brunson took less money. This is the game that he has to win, because as much as Mike, I want to go against what he said, he has a very good, compelling argument that Jaylen Brown, if he continues this play, could be the MVP. I want to argue with him so fucking bad, but I can't. You know, I want to, but I have, if I don't have facts, I can't come back and rebuttal. So if, as it stands, he's the most important player. Don, can you agree with that? So is he the most important? If you took Jaylen Brown off of the Celtics, they would probably be a lottery team. Is that fair to say?
Oh, 100%. They just didn't have a bunch of role players. I agree 100% with that.
But
1,000%.
But Donald, they're only a second place team without the best player on their team. If they had Jason Tatum, they probably only have like 5 losses on the season.
Hey, bro, stop that blasphemy.
I'm just saying.
I think you're Baptist or something like that. So today would be your church day. Mine is on Saturday, the 7th day. But that's a whole different issue. But if blasphemy is no good on any day, Jody. So please stop with that sideways blasphemy. And where is Ray? I need Ray here too. He needs some of this too.
Yo, that's crazy work. King Ming said Boston will not win because Celtics don't have Jason Tatum. Yeah, I said it, Mike. He said they won't win without him. Eagles Philly said I want Boston to win. I don't like nothing about New York. And you're a Philly fan, so I know why you don't. I understand that. I Eagles, I understand that. But let's get to what we came on this show to do. And it's the NFL. It's really like the last day of the actual regular season. Of course, there's about to be some crazy shit going on. So we're going to finish up with the Super Bowl, but it's a few things that we have to talk about before we get to the Super Bowl. And one of the things, we got to go to Mike first. What the fuck is going on in Atlanta? I thought the reason why Kevin Stefanski was coming over to the Atlanta Falcons was because they had Kirk Cousins and they were going to relive some magic that they had in Minnesota. How the fuck are y'all in the news for releasing the quarterback that y'all got it? Oh my God. Go ahead, Mike. Please talk. What the fuck is going on in Atlanta? What the fuck is going on in Atlanta?
At this point, there are no words. I'll never forget my brother got caught kind of in a bad situation coming home at 6 a.m. Couldn't find his key to get in the house. He had to have his girl let him in the house at 6 the next morning. And when she opened the door, he said he had no words for what he had done. And I'm telling you, there are no words. For the moment we let Matt Ryan back into the organization, that was like putting a condom on all over again, where you might bust, but you're not gonna score. And because he killed us in the Super Bowl with his antics, there were other occasions where we lost because of his antics. And now he's come back to haunt me in the afterlife. This is almost like Gladiator. In the afterlife, he still wants to fuck me. I don't know what Matt Ryan has against me. What more does he want from me?
And you gotta start crying. Where the crying at? I need you to cry, Mike.
Come on, Tyrese.
Hey, get a close up on Mike.
What does he want from me?
Hey, get a close up on Mike.
Me, man.
Hey, we gonna get back to that. Soul on Sports, man. They went and got Kevin Stefanski, and I'm like, okay, I understand if you're going to keep Kirk Cousins at quarterback, Kevin Stefanski going to Atlanta doesn't seem so bad. But now you about to cut him, and y'all quarterback is still on IR. Are they gonna draft what the fuck? And they don't even have a high enough draft pick to even go get anybody. Soul, talk to me, man.
I agree with them getting rid of Kirk Cousins, starting over again for us a quarterback, and Michael Penix. I guess he's going to come back healthy, but there are rumors there is a retired quarterback that's coming out of retirement and think about playing in the league again. That's Derek Carr. Don't be surprised if Derek Carr is not the Atlanta Falcons quarterback when the season starts next year. He said he's willing to come back in the right situation. Atlanta does have some weapons. Not saying that Derek Carr is that he's Tom Brady or anything, but he does have some talent. Don't be shocked if they don't bring him in to be the quarterback next year with the Atlanta Falcons, waiting on Michael Penix to get healthy.
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Hold the fuck on. Hold the fuck on.
Yes, sir.
Hold on. You gonna bring Derek Carr, who's never won a playoff game, at a 1-year retirement to replace a quarterback that's only got one playoff win, and he's already under contract. He made fucking Pitts have his best season as a fucking player, and you gonna Bro,
Jody,
no.
Jody,
Fuck no.
Jody,
Fuck
as
no,
we
man.
Jody, as we get ready to watch Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl, this right here tells you anything's possible.
But you got
Sam. No, Joe, listen to me.
You got Derek Carr on your roster.
Sam Darnold is in the Super Bowl, and there's a team in the Minnesota Vikings that wish they still had this dude. That same Sam Darnold with the Jets. So anything is possible, brother. Don't say that he can't go to Atlanta and get it done in one.
So
you never know.
Don't steal my thunder because we got a Sam Darnold segment coming. You already know what time it is.
Sam Darnold didn't have any playoff wins until this season, and now he's in the fucking Super Bowl.
I get it. Key Ming said, "Where does Kirk Cousins go? Pittsburgh, Minnesota, or Indianapolis?" I don't fucking know.
Back to Minnesota.
Because guess what? Guess who need a team? So Mike, guess who? The Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, but Kirk Cousins ain't the answer, dog.
Bro, Mac Jones is re-signing with the Niners.
Yeah.
And Kyler Murray is the only quarterback that's
we're gonna make too much money.
Hold on, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in just a second. Matter of fact, that's two topics. We got two quarterbacks that will be available. We'll talk about. But this is the thing with Kirk Cousins. And Kevin Stefanski. So if Kevin Stefanski goes and he does the same shit he did in Cleveland, can we now put him to bed as a head coach? Because he's gonna go to two situations that he don't have quarterbacks. Like, what the fuck? What did y'all pick, Mike? Like the 20th pick of the draft, I believe.
The Falcons don't have any capital for anything unless we was going to take Ty Simpson late in the first round, of which I've said I would only pick one of these quarterbacks post 20.
Yeah, but is he ready to start right away? That's the thing.
Right. Y'all need somebody to start right now.
I wouldn't go rookie.
Look, on his face, unless you're just trying to say that you're getting rid of him so that Michael Penix doesn't have to be looking over his shoulder, and you're really all in, and they got some intel that we don't have, that he's going to be ready to start the regular season, which I don't know how you would be able to do that with your third ACL tear. I don't know how you'll be ready.
When did he get hurt, Mike? When did he get hurt?
He won't be back until week 6.
Yeah, he got hurt like week
Derek Carr
14. And so what I'm saying is, you got Bijan, you got London,
you got
all of these pieces on offense, and you get rid of a guy that at least knows the incoming head coach and all of the players on the roster, and he's a Michigan State guy. Why would you get rid of Kirk Cousins?
Can't believe you want Kirk Cousins on your team, Mike.
It's better. So it's better than what the fuck they got. My thing is Kirk Cousins is not the answer. But why do people? Did you just see what happened in Minnesota? And I'm a JJ McCarthy fan, but what happened in Minnesota is egg on the face because Sam Darnold is in the Super Bowl, and y'all right. But this doesn't make sense. If I'm Kevin Stefanski, I think that would be the draw for me to take this head coaching position. Is you had a quarterback, but now you got Michael Penix, who is going to probably be on the pub list. This guy has been hurt at all levels, high school, college, as well as the pros, with similar knee injuries. I don't know if you can put the wrench on that, but they must know more than we know.
Just earlier this week, Jody, they said that they asked Matt Ryan, was Penix the future at quarterback, and he was non-committal to saying yay or nay. And then 3 days later, you're getting rid of Kirk Cousins. Like, is Matt Ryan thinking about coming out of retirement?
They got a plan, Mike.
He's going to come down from retirement and play with these weapons and fuck us again, because I can't figure out why on earth we would be doing this at this point in time with no visible plan in sight.
Hold on. There may be a plan, and this plan is right here. The Arizona Cardinals are looking to trade Kyler Murray. Donald, you missed the last segment. You and Jason would have loved that one Kirk Cousins segment, but we have moved on. They're going to release it. But now Kyler Murray is on the trade block. And once again, if they're getting rid of Kirk Cousins in Atlanta, maybe Arizona and Atlanta get on the phone with one another. What do you think about that?
Kyler, I honestly don't like it. I like to take a gamble with seeing if Penix can work out. How long is Penix out for?
Now, he'll be back probably like week 6. He'll be on the pub list to start the season.
Because my thing is, before I trade for Kyler Murray, another big contract, and then you got another controversy naturally, I would rather take my chances on trying to go maybe 3-3 to start the season. Bring Penix back and just see what you got, and then going more so to draft another quarterback if that's not the answer next year. I don't like trading because I don't want to give up anything for Kyler Murray. I don't want to give up any of my whether it's draft capital or any of my players for Kyler Murray, and he's already making a bunch of money also. So I like, and it's not like he's just super productive, like, you know what I'm saying, like a hot commodity. So I like my chances in going with whoever the backup is until Penix comes back, seeing what you got this year, and if you want to go a different direction, just draft another one next year.
The only problem is, do Kevin Stefanski got enough, like Mike like to say, cachet to go early on in the season, potentially go 2-4, 1-5 until his quarterback gets ready? Do you think he survived that?
Yeah, he won 5 games the last 2 years and got a job. So they believe, and that's what it is. So he probably got a little bit of security to even do it.
He got 8 wins in the last 2 years.
Well, eight wins in 2 years and then got a job. So therefore, it's something they see in him that you got to at least let him play out and let it work.
No doubt. So what do you think about this? Arizona is now ready to part ways with Kyler Murray. He was a number 1 draft pick a few years ago, made a couple Pro Bowls, but of course his game has declined and he has wore out his welcome in Arizona. What do you think? Who gets on the phone with him?
I like Kyler. I think Kyler Murray is still a good quarterback. I just think he just needs to change the scenery, man. Is that scenery Atlanta? I don't know. I don't know how this dead cap thing works. So I don't know if they once they cut Kirk Cousins, can they afford to bring in Kyler Murray's contract? So I don't know if that's an option with the Atlanta Falcons, unless he's really willing to redo his deal just to prove his worth and, you know, still get his money. But if I was him, I would change my deal to go play with those weapons in Atlanta. That would be a great fit for him. I think he's still a really good quarterback. People forget about Kyler Murray because maybe they don't see him because he's so damn little. But the dude's got a very strong arm. So I could see him fitting in Atlanta.
It's crazy. You said go play with the weapons in Atlanta. He had weapons in Arizona. He had Marvin Harrison.
What weapons?
He had the kid Thomas. Go look at his number. Go look at Marvin Harrison.
Who's Thomas?
He's a wide receiver out of Stanford. He had a really good year. Second year guy. Don't forget about McBride. He was a number 1 tight end.
But he was hurt last year though, Jody.
This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he had a lot of weapons. It wasn't like the cupboard was bare while he was there. So I get what you're saying. But
Marvin Harrison Jr. really hadn't showed lived up to his full potential yet.
Not yet, but that's what a good quarterback is supposed to do, is get him to the next level. Mike, what do you think about this? Arizona, they like, okay, we want to be done with Kyler Murray. There's a lot of teams around the league that would probably give up something to get him. Your team now comes to mind, Atlanta Falcons. What do you think about Kyler Murray moving on from Arizona?
Well, there's a lot to unpeel here. Kyler Murray moving on from Arizona is probably a good deal for him because these weapons that you're talking about didn't translate to nothing. He didn't have a connection with them. They actually got most of the rhythm and everything going when they brought in the backup behind Kyler Murray. So he didn't have any connection to these guys. So I don't see, and I didn't see that. But I'm always for a fresh start. Dak Prescott, other people that I say just need a fresh start.
What did he get a straight from, Mike? Why did
it's not a straight. It's when I'm talking about fresh starts, I'm just talking about a new scenery that might be good for them to ultimately achieve what it is they're capable of achieving. It's just not in that particular situation. So Kyler Murray to Atlanta, if Atlanta's getting rid of Kirk Cousins' contract, why would you take Kyler Murray's contract and replace the same type of money for the most part? That kind of wouldn't make sense unless you're sold on Kyler Murray being your franchise quarterback and you've really written the book off on Penix, who will be back. And like Donald said, you try to go 3-3, but you could have done that with Kirk Cousins and then put Penix back in. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't look like that's the direction. Now, I've also heard that Atlanta may be trying to get Dylan Gabriel, which, might be the Stefanski concept in his mind to try to get him with the pick and bring him in to start the season and let him and Penix kind of battle it out. But if you are the Atlanta franchise, you would want Kyler Murray because you got guys that are ready now. Bijan Robinson is in his prime right now. Motherfucking Drake London is in his prime right now. He's not trying to get good. He's actually really that good. And Pitts is coming off of his best year. And you took him with the 4th pick of the draft.
Second best year. His rookie year was his best year.
And Pitts is a free agent this year too, so y'all might lose him.
Yeah, because y'all have they probably have to franchise him, Mike.
If we lose Pitts, you won't see me crying any tears because we should have never drafted him with the 4th pick.
He's going to be a commander next year.
I stand on that.
He'll be a chief if he gets cut or he doesn't get re-signed. He'll be a chief next year. I guarantee he'll be a chief. It's Mike Wilson, my fault, not Thomas. So Mike.
I was about to say
Kyler Murray
Mike Wilson.
So Kyler Murray to Atlanta could be a ready-made deal, which is why they're getting rid of Kirk Cousins.
But my thing on this quarterback, I don't like him in Atlanta. I just don't know what Atlanta's doing right now. And I'm not picking on you, Mike, at all. This seemed like a Cleveland. Y'all get the fans get started hearing Cleveland problem. That's a fucking Cleveland Brown problem. Y'all took our coach. I already feel better about the season right now in Cleveland because y'all took our fucking head coach and y'all doing dumbass shit like a Cleveland Brown team would do. And if you bring Dylan Gabriel to be the starting quarterback in Atlanta, that would be the worst thing I've ever fucking seen. First of all, you had 2 left-hand quarterbacks. I ain't never seen 2 left-hand quarterbacks on the same fucking roster at the same fucking time. And the only left-hand quarterback that we love in Atlanta, outside of Michael Penix, is Michael Vick. Now, Kyler Murray, hey guys, what do y'all think about Kyler Murray potentially going to the Jets? Because the Jets have multiple first-round picks that they can play with. They need Aaron Glenn, and hey, the soul brother Aaron Glenn needs some fucking help. So get your cousin. He can't go through. I think he gets fired mid-season if he pulls the same shit that he pulled last year. He got to get a quarterback. He can't depend on our guy Justin Fields. Let Justin Fields walk and potentially be a backup. He can be the Sam Darnold somewhere else. But I think Kyler Murray comes there. He got Garrett Wilson at the receiver position. They got a good running back. They got 3 first-round draft picks. They got their draft pick. They got the Cowboy draft pick, and they have the Colts first-round draft pick. Go ahead and use one of them first-round draft picks. Send him to Arizona. Bring him over there. Get fucking Aaron Glenn another year, guys. Come on. Hey, let's start the campaign right now. Give Aaron Glenn another year. And if he don't have a quarterback, he ain't going to get no other year. So I like him to go to the Jets. And that's my thought process. Donald, you want to say something? What you want to say? I know you want to say something, Donald.
They said Aaron Glenn was a DB and had a team that had no interceptions no year.
He said if he was playing, he would have got a couple of picks. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey, Eagles said he's coming to Philadelphia Eagles and he's from Philly. He ain't trying to go to no bum Commanders talking about Kyle Pitts. That's crazy.
Another thing I wanted to say.
Thanks for the love.
Can I switch my pick on the basketball game?
No.
What you got?
I just seen these people with all these Patriots jerseys on. I forgot they playing in the Super Bowl and they in Boston. I said, oh yeah, the Celtics not about to win. But matter of fact, if the Celtics win, Patriots might win. If the Celtics lose,
hey, it's go nice. Have y'all seen the Avengers? And remember when they had to get the one stone, but somebody had to be sacrificed? It's gonna be like that. It's either New England wins this motherfucker or the Celtics win. At what fucking cost? But both of them motherfuckers ain't winning today. Both of them are not fucking winning today. And we'll get to that later. Let's stay with another quarterback. So, and this quarterback is a guy that showed some promise, led the NFL in yardage one season. His name is Tua Tagovailoa, national championship winner at Alabama. But now the Miami Dolphins are looking to move forward at the quarterback position. Brian Flores said some things about him and got fired because he told the truth. Who wants Tua damaged goods at this point? Who wants him?
I wouldn't take him on my roster. The contract he's making, the money he's making, the injury concerns, the lack of arm strength. Why did he even get that much money? I know you like Tua, but I cannot see myself giving up draft capital for a quarterback that can't throw a 20-yard out. I just can't do it. I couldn't see myself doing it. That's be a quick way for GM to get fired also. I don't see a good location for Tua. I really don't. I know someone's probably going to do it. They're probably waiting a little bit longer here. They're probably lowball the Miami Dolphins or say, hey, if you want me to take Tua, you got to pay some of this goddamn contract. Maybe that might happen, but I don't see a team right now that's willing to take Tua.
That's crazy. Akeem Mink said Kyler to the Jets is terrible, bro. Name a quarterback in the draft that's right now that's better than Kyler Murray. And I'll wait. Since it's so terrible, name me a quarterback that's coming out of this year's draft that's better than Kyler Murray right now. Not in 3 years, Not in 5 years. Right now, name me a quarterback in this draft better than Kyler Murray, and I will fucking wait. Mike, the people's champ, man, talk to me. Who wants to Tagovailoa?
This is going to be a scenario where you and I agree, but we're going to agree from a different standpoint. This situation with Tua is like dating a cougar. She already has money.
Mm-hmm.
She's already got experience. She was fine when she was younger.
Okay.
And she still look good now. She don't look as good as she used to. Concussions, you know what I'm saying? She don't remember shit like she used to. But she's still fine. And you've got a choice to go after her, or you can go after a baddie out there. But the baddies got BBLs and everything else that they want you to pay for shit. You know, they want you to flew them out and all kinds of shit. When she already is established and y'all on the same page. So you got a choice. And that's who this Tua is. He's a male cougar. And he just has to find the right situation that wants him and will value him for who he is now, not for all the baddies out there, the IG models and the AI and all of that shit.
So, Mike,
who is he?
Hold on, I'm gonna give you some initials. Is this who you is it SM? Are you comparing it to SM as a cougar? You know what I'm talking about, motherfucker. You know what the fuck I'm talking about, motherfucker. You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
Yes, sir. Hey, Mike, I am not worthy.
Hey, man.
I am not worthy. That's an inside joke. It's an inside joke. Let's go back to the Michael days. Anyway, Donald, who wants Tua right now?
I don't think nobody, because it's the thing. It'd be different if you were signing him, but with a trade, you carry on the contract, correct?
Yeah.
With that contract and that health, I can't see nobody else taking for his production last season and his health. I just don't actually think it's worth it for nobody to pull a trigger on it. Now, if it was just where he was a free agent and you could give him like a minimum or something, he just come in and play, that'd be a different story. But to play him all of that type of money and you may not have him and his production is just not that much at this point, I just don't think it makes sense for anybody to take that on right now.
King Mink said Tua to Arizona. He said Tua to Arizona. Wow. Shit. What the difference a year could make, guys. A difference a year can make. Just last year or 2 years ago, I said Sam Darnold was probably one of the worst picks. I thought he was right there with Josh Rosen as being a bust in that draft. I'm on record, and it's a lot of probably other Americans that watch football that was on the same wavelength as me. He threw a pass in Minnesota. Now he's about to be a Super Bowl champion. Can Tua do the same thing? But Tua has had success. But I believe whatever team he has to go to, it has to be a dome or warm weather. He has to either go out west somewhere or he has to go to a dome team. He cannot play for any Midwestern team. So that makes me come to a conclusion. I'm with Donald. There's no takers. I would wait until Tua is cut. And then if I'm a veteran-led team, maybe even though Kansas City is a cold weather city, we don't know if Patrick Mahomes is going to come back, and we don't know if Patrick Mahomes is going to be the same Patrick Mahomes when he comes back. We don't know that. I mean, we know he's an uber talented quarterback, one of the best that ever did it, but do we know he's going to be that? Do you want some insurance? We got a guy that once upon a time led the NFL in passing yards. That's the only way that I would see Tua getting on somewhere is if he's cut. And then I think it will be a sweepstakes on a lot of teams trying to get his services if he's like King Mink said as a backup, like Donald said. But pulling the trigger, I wouldn't get him motherfuckers a 6 or 7 round pick for him at this point. So,
well, how does it work? I wonder when you got one of these quarterbacks with these mega deals, how does it work if you end up cutting one of them right in the middle of it? I mean, you're gonna have to still pay him some of that guaranteed money. That's gonna be interesting to see if they end up cutting. That's gonna be a big salary hit.
So it's nothing you can do about it. It's going to be dead cap space. So it's either he's on your roster or not. You still got to pay him, and then he can get double dip. Just like remember when Russell Wilson went to Pittsburgh Steelers, he was able to still get paid by the Broncos, and still he was making money with the league minimum, like Donald said, with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then he's still getting the league minimum with the New York Giants. So
I would
whatever, you know.
I would tell Tua, if I pick him up like that, you got to wear one of them big ass helmets, dog. I know you think you too cool for that shit, but with your history with concussions, you got to put one of them big helmets on like everybody else. I'm sorry.
You want him to have the Stay Puff helmet?
Yeah. I'm sorry,
at
man.
quarterback. I've not, so I don't know how that works at quarterback, but hey, maybe you own to something. I think that he's in a tough spot, Jody, because if Kansas City, I would rather take Kirk Cousins for the first 6 weeks and know that my guy is coming back most likely, and then we'd be good to go. Kirk Cousins, with the way the system that they run, he probably fits perfectly into that system. Not having to worry about like Atlanta single blocking motherfucking the guy from the Steelers, one of the brothers,
Watt.
Yeah, Watt, and then letting this motherfucker get annihilated game one, so he won't have to worry about no shit like that. So I think Kirk would be great for Kansas City for the first however many games until Mahomes is back.
If I wouldn't rush Mahomes back if I'm the Chiefs.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I want you to get some insurance, because you don't want to bring him back and then he's not the Super Bowl caliber quarterback, and then he can't be the greatest of all time. And my prediction.
I sent him out the whole season.
King Minks, no, I wouldn't do that. King Minks, he had a good question. He said, "Hey, Jody, would Tua work in Indianapolis or they keep Richardson?" Richardson days and I don't like that. But Richardson's days in Indianapolis are done. I mean, because if you could, and this no disrespect to y'all, and me and Sol and me and Mike went back and forth on this shit. There's no disrespect to Daniel Jones in that aspect. I believe that Daniel Jones didn't win that job. I think he was given that job. Did he do well when he got it? He was given that job. He didn't outplay Anthony Richardson in the preseason. He didn't.
I think Richardson didn't help himself by getting hurt in the first fucking preseason game. So yeah, I think we talked about this, but I think Jody's favorite quarterback, Daniel Dimes, had a better grasp of the offense than Richardson. So I think that helped him end up keeping this job. That's what I think.
And I understand that, but I'm gonna get you, Mike, and say I understand that, but the thing about it is he didn't outplay him. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't like he took the job. He was kind of like you said. We really want him to be our starter. Let's roll with him. It ended up paying dividends for the time he played. Go ahead, Mike.
Richardson got hurt and wasn't holistically able to compete through the process of the job. Your best ability is your availability. He had already tapped out the year before, and then he gets hurt going into this competition, would put Daniel Jones in a scenario that he was in. At some point, we have to have a come to Jesus meeting about Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold and figure out what is the problem with these two guys. Jody, I'm available. I won't even charge you. I won't even hit the clock. I'll just let you sit and get it all out so we can move beyond the fact that, these two guys are just what I always tell you. Like, if you stay in the league for 4 or 5 years, 4 years really is my metric. If you can stay in the league for 4 years, you're going to either be a career backup or you're going to be a starter somewhere because you got a grasp for the NFL game, right? These guys manage through bad systems, whatever. We act like that Daniel Dimes didn't have Saquon Barkley, just traded away for nothing. And the team was set up for Saquon Barkley and for Danny to throw off of that, not for him just to be a drop back passer, right? We act like that didn't happen. And then we could talk about the dysfunction of the Jets and all of their quarterbacks moving on and actually doing well once they leave that situation. But what you have against Daniel Jones and what you have against Sam Darnold just kind of blinds you to the fact that these other guys aren't being mistreated. It's just a byproduct of the circumstances of which they encountered.
Let me answer. I'm gonna get to you, Donald. Give me just a second, Donald. I'm gonna get to you. Let me answer this, and let me answer, and let me make sure y'all got the camera on me and that my voice is. Can y'all hear me good? So, can you hear me really good? Can you hear me really good, Mike and Donald? Can you hear me good out there?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
The reason why I said this about Daniel Jones is he was the quarterback of he was the heir apparent to Eli Manning. When he came in, he had a spark. When he first started, now he just garbage. That was a bar. What I'm saying is, no time in New York, even when he stunk up the joint, did they ever bring any quarterback in to compete with that for that starting job. They didn't bring a veteran in. They didn't draft a quarterback in the 3rd round. They didn't do none of that shit. Daniel Jones was in the Giants uniform for, I believe, 6 or 7 years without any competition. He had 1 playoff win, and I believe he had 1 winning season. My problem is when I see other quarterbacks, immediately when you see they're about to bring a quarterback in the Houston Texans, and they're going to bring the Texans, they're going to put some competition for C.J. Stroud. Even though C.J. Stroud had 3 playoff wins, did you hear about they're going to get a quarterback, trust me. Either Davis Mills is going to be able to compete for that starting job, or they're going to bring another quarterback in. And I just think it's unfair that every time you hear an inkling of a player not playing well, just like Caleb Williams, they were ready to bring another quarterback in after 1 fucking season to compete for that head coach. And if you don't believe me, look at y'all didn't hear that? That's my problem, Mike. But guys, and I don't really have a problem with Sam Darnold. I don't know. I just thought he was a bad quarterback. I did. And everybody else agreed with me until he threw a pass to Minnesota. But Daniel Jones is different because nobody ever gave him any resistance at the quarterback position. He never had to go through any. He didn't come into camp. Every time he was in the New York Giant uniform, he came into camp and he knew he was going to be the starter. That's not the same for other quarterbacks. That's why I give him so much flack. And it really ain't really Daniel Jones. It's more the organizations around him where they had so much promise in this guy and he kept undelivering. He did not deliver, guys. I mean, you got to call a spade a spade. He didn't fucking deliver. And he kept getting opportunity after opportunity. That's why I say what I say about that. Sam Darnold, he just wasn't a good quarterback until he played for Minnesota. Let's keep it real.
I think
he's actually San Francisco.
I think you're a bad organization if you don't have a decent backup quarterback, because your next play could be your last play in the NFL. You can get hit wrong and all of a sudden your seasonal career is over. I don't give a damn how good your starter is. That can happen to anybody. So for these organizations not to have a decent backup quarterback, to me, you're letting your team down.
But having a decent backup quarterback in this day and age has gotten challenging. We kind of grew up like it was nothing to see a Joe Montana and a Steve Young, or a Doug Williams, Jay Schrader, and Wiseman, or like teams that had backup quarterbacks that actually were really, really good. Nowadays, this is kind of the Brady rule. Brady didn't want a backup quarterback after he took
Drew
Bledsoe's position. He never wanted to find himself in that position. So anybody that was halfway decent, they got to go. They got to go, right? And every other quarterback has kind of taken on that. There was Aaron Rodgers didn't want to tutor somebody. You got all these guys. They don't want to have a relationship with the backup quarterback, yada, 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 yada. And that's where we are. So now if I'm going to sign this quarterback to a long-term contract, he's going to quietly demand that the next guy be so far removed. Backup quarterbacks don't even get reps.
In that case, that's not letting the team down, Mike, by not having a good backup.
Now, how I feel about it is totally different than what the reality is. Now, the reality is that situation in San Francisco was rare, but it was also thought that Mac Jones was just a guy to have and serve. But now you can see Mac Jones, and Mac Jones has actually been pretty good the whole time he's been in the NFL, really.
But really, because I got to get to Donald real quick. The thing about it is those guys like Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, that didn't want a backup quarterback, they wasn't stinking up the joint. Daniel Jones was stinking up the joint. So, Donald, what do you think about this situation? Tua, or they go Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis?
All right, two things. I honestly think for Indianapolis as a whole, I think that they're done. I think they were done with Richardson even before this past season. Well, Super Bowl is today, so this past season. I think they were done anyway. So I don't think it was a personal Daniel Jones thing. It could have been Jody, Mike, Soul, or Donald. and we would have won the starting job. I think they were just all the way done with Anthony Richardson to begin with. And then as far as Daniel Jones with the Giants, I honestly feel like Eli Manning wasn't that good. I feel like they feel like we could be mediocre and we can win a Super Bowl here and there. Because Eli Manning wasn't that good to me anyway. But I don't see taking on Tua, like I said, nowhere with that contract.
I feel that. Okay. So
Donald is the Vinny Johnson of this show. He's either hot or extremely cold. Eli Manning not being that good and thinking you can just win with Daniel Jones is blasphemy. They had the team set up. Think about when they first got started, Jody. They had Saquon Barkley, they got Daniel Jones, and then they had playing wide out, right?
They had actually when Daniel Jones got there, Odell Beckham was not there with him. Odell Beckham was not there.
You sure?
Odell Beckham was there with. Remember, he went to Cleveland. He was there with Eli Manning.
Can I ask a question? I don't know the exact number on it. I don't know. How many two-time Super Bowl champion, two-time? Because anybody can win one. Now you win two, that's a different story. How many other two-time winning Super Bowls? Is it a lot of those who are not first or second ballot Hall of Famers?
Jim Plunkett.
Yeah, he won two with the Raiders.
So it won't be a lot, but I mean, what are you?
Because I'm just asking because evidently, if you win two Super Bowls as a quarterback, a lot of times you make it, first or second ballot. That means a lot of other people feel like he's not that good either.
I think the NFL has gone too far to the other side. I think for some reason we think the quarterback has to be the best player on the team. I don't know what we got away from just being a great defensive player can be the best player or a great running back or things of that nature. We got stuck. Maybe because they make so much money, we think that quarterbacks make $200 million. He's got to be our leader. He's got to be our best player. Maybe that's the problem here. We expect too much out of these fucking quarterbacks, and they just ain't them dudes sometimes.
Or so, what about this? What the fuck does it matter if I'm first ballot or 18th ballot? If I got a gold jacket, you can kiss my ass.
He doesn't have one.
He don't have one at all. Now,
but he will.
How do you know that?
He got one. He bought one at J.C. Penney's. He's got one in the closet from there. That's it.
And you better not say what the fuck you about to say, so because I will mute your.
You know I'm gonna say that. You know I'm gonna say.
I know what you about to fuck.
I know somebody jacket they can get us.
God damn it, so I told you. Shit.
I'm sorry, bro.
Anyway, Donald, you better not let him do that blasphemy to you because he's talking about Rondé Barber, and we're not about to have that shit on this show. Donald, real quick. The reason why Daniel Jones, like you said about Eli Manning, is because Eli Manning and Peyton Manning vouched for him in a camp that they had him in with their offensive coordinator, Sutcliffe from Duke, which I think he was at Tennessee with. I want to say Peyton Manning, right, Mike? So they endorsed him to draft him, and that's why I think that they never brought any competition, which was a bad move for the New York Giants.
And if you understand where I'm coming from, whether it's basketball, field hockey, whatever the case may be, this is what happens when you select somebody from Duke as your franchise player. They're going to be hurt. They're going to underachieve. And then you got to go find a Batman to carry them all the way through a championship to save their legacy.
That's crazy work. But let's go down I-75 and let's go back to Atlanta, guys. Atlanta edge rusher James Pearson Jr. was arrested. Pearson Jr. had 10.5 sacks out of Tennessee. Looked like he was on his way to being one of the better players in the league, but I don't know if we're going to see this guy play for quite some time. So this is the reports. Falcons rookie first-round draft pick James Pearson Jr. was arrested Saturday in Florida on domestic violence charges of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and aggravated stalking per court records reported by ESPN's Adam Scheffler. And it also was a car chase where it was a wreck where I believe he wrecked into something. I don't got all the visible information, but this is what reported from Adam Scheffler of ESPN. Donald, I'm gonna let Mike get the anchor on this one. Did we possibly see the last of James Pearson after just one season in the NFL?
Okay, from my understanding, they said he tried to hit her car with his car or something of that. If he done that, we more than likely have so because he's not established enough for people to blow things over. Like I said, the discipline with him not being a stature of a MVP caliber player or whatever the case. Now discipline may come discipline may come into account. But if he was somebody else, I don't think it would be as bad. But being that he's not already that much established in the league and stuff yet, if he's found guilty of that, you can very well possibly see the last of him.
Okay, so what do you think about this, man? The reports and what the fuck is aggravated stalking? What is that? I don't think what that is.
All I know is the NFL is very inconsistent with their discipline. We talk about this, Jody, so many times, but here's their chance to get things back right. Soon as the game is over, I'm announcing, hey, look, man, this dude can't play this year. I don't give a fuck about nothing. We got all the police reports we need. He's out for the entire season. And then we'll go back and look at this afterwards. Yeah, stalking women, putting their hands on women. I don't know. I don't understand it, bro. The world's full of women. You got a lot of money. Like Mike Epps said, maybe just a tender dick. I don't know. Something's going on with this brother. So for him to go that crazy over a female, no, I'm not doing it. So something's wrong with this dude's head. I say sit out the entire season. He's probably going to be in jail anyway. So, yeah, sit out the entire season. I don't think he plays football next year in NFL. If I'm the commissioner, that's what I would do.
Okay. Once again, Mike, not picking on you, but this sounds like a Cleveland Brown problem. Like I'm not. Does Kevin Stefanski take the dark cloud and bring it over to Atlanta? Because this is another Cleveland Brown. I'm used to Cleveland dealing with shit like this, not the Atlanta Falcons. And this kid was very promising, 10.5 sacks. There's not a lot of rookies in NFL history that was able to eclipse double-digit sacks in their rookie campaign. And now he's arrested. And I read the charges. Do you think he plays football ever again in the NFL?
Well, this is going to be controversial, so I might as well get into it. Until all the evidence is brought in and we understand what fully happened and there's a judgment in the case, nothing should happen. I do not believe in allegations. I do not believe all women. I do not believe that all women are shrinking violets that need to be protected by the law without even having a conviction of any sort, right? We have no idea what led to any of this behavior and so forth and so on. We don't know. And until we do, we need to move back to allowing the courts to establish judgment and then move forward. We just seen, I don't know if you guys are privy to this, but Mel Tucker, that was at Michigan State, has recently been acquitted of all the things that was brought up against him. Off an allegation, Michigan State got rid of him. They terminated his $80 million. Everybody was laughing because he lost $80 million over some pussy and this, that, and the other, yada, yada, yada. When it turns out that he was being extorted for millions of dollars to finance a movie. And once he decided he wasn't going to finance the movie from the chick he's getting down with, she goes that direction and gets the man fired from his job. Now, Michigan State is going to settle out of court for probably 40 or 60 of that 80 million because of wrongful termination due to their investigation. You got the guy in Michigan, Moore. He just had all those charges because it sounds great on TV. Aggravated stalking, this, that, menacing, this, that, and the other.
The nigga got arrested on the scene, Mike. He got arrested when it was happening.
Then when it plays out, because you were at that scene, we don't know how did we get here? What are all the circumstances around it? I just don't believe all women. I believe in the facts. I believe in stuff playing out in the courts. And once we have a conviction, then we can move forward. All this other subjective
what I do know is if the nigga was stalking my daughter, he had to worry about playing in the NFL no more. He ain't gonna have no legs.
Now
He'd be Lieutenant Dan.
I can understand you on that, but these women out here, like I just went through it. You had the coach Mel Tucker. He's about to get $60 million from Michigan State for wrongful termination. You got Sharon Moore, who was all on film, and
they're not accused of rape though, Mike. We're talking stalking women or hitting women. That's completely different.
But it's both. I do agree with Mike. It's both nothing until it's factual. They could
That's
have been.
all I'm
The
saying.
thing is, now if the police watched it happen, I'm pretty sure they weren't. The police didn't watch it happen. Whatever the incident ended at, and police she just gave her story, and that's what it was. His story may be completely different, and the truth may be completely different. Now,
Yeah, what if she had his child or was threatening him with an abortion or like all kinds? There's a whole lot
They're
of
not even
stuff.
together no more. He's stalking her. He won't leave her ass alone. It would sound like to me.
No. Listen,
You said that's what it sounds like, but is that what it is?
No, this the thing. I've seen he makes a bunch of money.
Does, nigga.
WNBA players don't make that much. She could have been in the wrong. So I'm not saying she is wrong. I'm not saying you're not. But
what does money have to do with it?
It means a lot.
It's got a lot to do with it.
Why?
Because he's her payday. And listen, I'm gonna tell you this some real stuff. Once you stop doing for somebody, you never know what lengths they'll go to get back at you. And this is 100% factual. And I'm not saying I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. I'm just saying that what she says doesn't have to be all the way true.
Can I say something? Can I jump in?
Yeah, go ahead. This is your show. Go ahead.
No, I just want to jump in because I'm going against Mike, and it's nothing against what y'all said. When has the NFL ever gave a fuck what the court said? They never go with what the court said. Because if that's the case, why is he suspended 11 games when he was not accused of anything legally? So NFL don't give a fuck what the court says.
Jody,
they're going to do what they want to do. The NFL is going to do what the fuck they want to do. And what they're going to do is try to save face. And then they can figure it out later. Guess what? Justin Tucker has never been convicted of anything. He got suspended already. He got suspended more swiftly than fucking Deshaun Watson got. And he has not even been to trial for anything. All this shit, all the NFL needs is allegations, and that's all they run with. Remember, Ezekiel Elliott got suspended for 6 games, and they didn't even go to trial or anything like that. So my thing is, I understand what you're saying, Mike, but the NFL don't give a fuck about the legal system. They got their own legal system.
But the NFL is the most egregious. I think there was something here recently posted by Eric Dickerson that the most corrupt organization in all of sports is the NFL. So why do I say that? The NFL knows that they can suspend dudes and levy out these punishments without any court convictions, because if you sue the NFL, what's going to happen? You're not going to play in the NFL ever again. Look at Colin Kaepernick, who never sued the NFL, but when you're blackballed, you can go to Tim Tebow, you go to anybody that's been blackballed by the NFL. They show you that if you go against the machine, you will not play. When Maurice Claret tried to petition and sue the NCAA by way of the NFL, as well as having this 18-year-old rule and this, that, and the other, what did they do? Blackball.
Maurice was drafted, though, wasn't he?
And so these guys don't sue the NFL for this wrongful suspension and termination or interruption of their money, because they need to go back to the NFL because there is no other NFL. They have a monopoly block, but it doesn't mean that they're right and that this is the way we should go. Because just because a woman says it doesn't mean it's true.
Mike, just because, look, I know, man. I know coochie feels good, bro. It's warm. It's like, like you've been outside, you get up under that blanket, that motherfucker feel good. Don't get me wrong. But there's no need to snap in this way. This is what this brother did. He snapped because she wasn't giving him none anymore. He couldn't take it. He couldn't take it. She told him no. So I'm gonna stalk this lady. I'm telling you, bro, this brother was doing this shit.
But this is the thing. If he tells the story an opposite way, how does it? I don't know who's right or wrong. If that's what happened, that I'm just saying that's what she's saying. I'm just saying that doesn't have to be true about what she's saying, because I know
how we know that's all of what she's saying. This might be an investigation.
But that's what we're saying.
Investigation doesn't mean it just came straight from her.
At that word might be. That word might means we don't know until it's factual.
And so I'm gonna share something with you. I used to have this conversation with my barber all the time. He moved to Texas. He lives there now. Dick has value too. And when you stop giving the dick to some of these females, and they will go nuts.
They weren't accusing her of stalking, they were accusing him.
Right. But the question is, who was doing this? Who actually was doing the stalking? Who wasn't? What happened? How did this situation arise? How did he know where she even was? There's so many parts to this.
It's called location seeking. You can find where someone is. That got nothing to do with it. You can do that easily.
I think y'all missing the whole point of this shit. I think everybody on here, Mike, Soul, and Donald, you're right. The NFL don't give a fuck about who's right or wrong. They are protecting the shield, guys. And the thing they don't give a fuck about investigation. They don't give a fuck who right or wrong. They're going to do what they got to do to protect the fucking shield. The shield is bigger than James Pearson Jr. The shield is bigger than anybody you can name. They're going to protect the shield. They don't give a fuck what's true or not. They don't care. I know
they're going to suspend his ass.
Mike, you're absolutely correct. Both of y'all. So all y'all right, but it don't matter. This is not Matlock. This is not Perry Mason, my mom's favorite show, Donald's granny's favorite show, Perry Mason. It's not Perry. This is not Perry Mason. We're not going to get an allegation, and then at the end of the show, somebody is found innocent, and then NFL is going to say, well, we're wrong. When the fuck have any of y'all on this show ever heard the NFL come back and say they was wrong?
No, I understand what you're saying. I was just speaking on my belief of the NFL. I'm on record saying that's why I'm a bigger fan of the NBA than the NFL. The NBA do wrong too, because I got some of my final thought that I feel like is wrong anyway. But the NFL is the worst place, like ever. Like any type of, like you said, league, corporation, it's just a bad place. The way they treat people and the way they operate is the worst place. So I'm never even going to stress myself to think they're going to do right. That was just my personal opinion of the situation.
Sometimes we like to point fingers at people for situations. Sometimes it's our fucking fault.
But
maybe sometimes we put these brothers putting themselves in these situations to be even treated or mistreated by the NFL by certain situations. Sometimes we do this to ourselves. We gotta stop doing that as well.
But I'm gonna tell you what the real bullshit is. You keep walking away from that goddamn camera going over to that grill over there because you about to make some grilled meat and do all this shit. And if you look behind me right now, there ain't no goddamn grilling going on out here. I got about 14, 15 inches of goddamn snow out here still, and you over there on the grill. You're just popping your shit like that, man. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Hey, Mike, and I'm out here with flip-flops on too, bro.
Hey, he tightened Mike. He tightened That's that
Jody,
bullshit.
they should arrest him for public menacing us on this show with that bullshit.
You ain't got to worry about me stalking you in that damn snow. That's for sure. Too goddamn cold up there.
You would have footprints. We'd know it was your ass over there. You gonna leave footprints. Hey, Eagle Philly said that I did not like the picture that the fake commanding the chief sent out talking about the Obama or monkey. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
I don't even because I don't want to get in that later. But before we get to the last thing, of course, the Super Bowl, the Hall of Fame class of the NFL has been. We talked about it. Class of 2026. I can't wait to get up there this year to meet with a lot of guys that I watched as a kid. The guy that's headlining this, Donald, is Drew Brees. Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald, first ballot Hall of Famers. Luke Kuechly, I believe, is a second ballot because I think he could have got in last year. He got in this year. Only playing 8 seasons, guys. No championships, but Luke Kuechly is it. But I will get to that in a minute. Adam Vinatieri, a kicker getting in the Hall of Fame. It's crazy work. And Roger Craig. Now I'm gonna start with you, Mike. Now going back to Adam Vinatieri real quick. How the fuck does Adam Vinatieri get in, and you don't let Bill Belichick or Robert Kraft? Because I believe that he was on the Patriot team. I know he won a championship with the Colts, but he was on the same team with Bill Belichick as a head coach and Robert Kraft as an owner, and they're not in the Hall of Fame, but he gets in. Just to name a scenario, and Roger Craig, rightfully so, but Fred Taylor not getting in is crazy work. Mike, talk to me about this Hall of Fame class.
Well, if you're asking about Adam Vinatieri, all they're doing is setting the stage to let you know that the ownership will be held to a higher level of accountability than the players. So when Tom Brady gets in on first ballot and those guys don't, then there won't be an argument because Vinatieri got in, yada, yada, yada. So that's the stage that's being set. I don't know if it's going to play out that way because Vinatieri never had a deflate gate left at his feet, which is the most ludicrous thing ever. in all of
We lost.
there we go. Was gonna cause all that. So at the end of the day, Roger Craig, it was time for he should have probably been in, not first ballot. I mean, Roger Craig got some historical things. He's a Super Bowl, multi-Super Bowl champion, but in his class of individuals, the Eric Dickersons, the Walter Paytons, all those guys of that era, this is about right. Where he should have been in a little bit earlier, but seeing him get in is good. Drew Brees, we all knew this was going to happen. Larry Fitzgerald, one of the most decent human beings. He may be the last of the Mohicans to play wide receiver. No scandal, no prima donna shit, no doing sit-ups and crunches in the driveway, no holdouts, no taking your shirt off, flicking off the whole stand. None of that. Just
no
went
Super
out.
Bowls either.
Just went out, caught a bunch of balls.
That don't even matter when a person want to make an argument, Jody. Winning that don't even matter sometimes. But go ahead.
Winning mattered last night, but anyway.
Wow.
And so that's just where it is. A good Kuechly, he's a good guy. So
Wow. So what do you think about this class that just got in?
I think everyone deserves it. I'm going to keep my mouth shut on certain players because I don't want to piss off my guy Jody. A player that's in this year, does he really deserve to get in? He's in there, so I'm gonna let that go. Drew Brees deserves to be first ballot. Larry Fitzgerald deserves to be in there. Adam Vinatieri, I guess he wasn't kicking those deflated balls when he got those Super Bowl victories. There was holding on that winning kick he made against the Rams. We're not going to go into that. But that kick should have counted. But he's a Hall of Famer. Him getting in over the coach that has more Super Bowl victories is crazy. A kicker getting in over the coach that has more victories than anybody. Any owner that has more victories than anybody, which is crazy. But he deserves to get in as well. And Roger Craig, great San Francisco 49ers, probably one of the first dual threat running backs. Is he a great running back? For his time, I guess he was.
Okay.
It's the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah, I mean, the dude ain't played in 30 years?
I think Donald, he retired when Donald was born.
I never seen him play. I mean, I heard about him. I never seen him.
He was good.
He was good.
He was dynamic. He had 1,000. I think he was the first back to have 1,000 yards rushing and receiving in one season.
Yeah,
and I think that, as popular as that has now become, with McCaffrey kind of being that guy, just re-elevated his status.
Marshall Faulk.
I think that's kind of gotten him in.
It's only 3 people that ever did it all the time. Donald, what do you think about this class right here?
I think everybody's Roger Craig, I don't know, he's before my time. I'm just puzzled about the Vinatieri thing. Are they saying that his career outside of New England is Hall of Fame worthy? Because I'm just thinking if you wipe Belichick and Kraft out, I think the whole era of New England should be wiped out, which I don't think it should be. But I'm saying if that's what y'all doing, treat it all equal. But I like Breeze for sure. That's a quarterback. Right? That's a quarterback. Then he had the rest of Fitzgerald for sure. He one of the top receivers that I've ever seen in my lifetime for sure. And then, I would say Kuechly not playing as long, but I would say that. But I want to ask Mike a question. Like, does the prima donnas and all that stuff, does it make what you accomplished not as great? Like, did you did it or did you not?
Well, I think that you did it, but it's not like he did it year in, year out of achieving 1,000 yards rushing. He's not one of the best running backs of all time that we would say. He's not a receiver. He's not one of the best receivers, we would say. The game kind of evolved, and he was the catalyst for that evolution. So I think, being that, I think that I think Doug Williams should be in the Hall of Fame. He doesn't have the best career numbers, but he did something so historic that
they kicked him out the NFL for beating John Elway.
pretty much.
But he never played another
but
game.
he's the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and that should be noteworthy with the NFL and the Hall of Fame. So I do think there's career achievements that could get you in a supersede.
Yeah, they said he was supposed. They said he was really supposed to lose the game, and he didn't lose the game.
Okay, guys.
And his fault the Broncos defense sucks.
Okay, guys, check this out now. Now y'all know I love the Hall of Fame. That's my Graceland. I go up there in August, as it'll be my 5th year going this year, and I'm a little I'm disappointed in this class. Drew Brees, no brainer. Met him last year. I talked to him. I said, "You're gonna be here next year." We took a picture. He ain't gonna remember me, but I knew he was gonna be there. Larry Fitzgerald, absolutely. But that's where everything get muddy. Because the fact that you got Luke Kuechly, I think Luke Kuechly was fantastic linebacker. But you telling me he has a better resume than L.C. Greenwood, who has 4 Super Bowls and was on that dynamic Pittsburgh Steelers team of the 70s. You telling me that he has a better resume than Luke Kuechly has a better resume than L.C. Greenwood? No. Adam Vinatieri. First of all, you letting the kicker get in. If a kicker gets in the Hall of Fame, he better have made every fucking kick he ever attempted. And he didn't. Because when he wouldn't have got cut from New England and they wouldn't have moved on to another kicker if you were so great. You would have spent your whole career with that organization. You went to the Indianapolis Colts and you went to a stadium that has a dome. And not saying that was a problem, but go look at his kicking percentage. He was struggling a little bit with the Indianapolis Colts before he got it together when they won that championship. And it wasn't because of him that they won that championship. It was Peyton Manning who had a historic year with also having Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne on that roster, Dwight Freeney, another Hall of Famer, and Robert Mathis on that defense. And don't forget about what Bob Sanders did when they had one of the worst fucking defenses. And when he came back, all of a sudden they had one of the best defenses. But I digress. And Roger Craig, do I love Roger Craig? Absolutely. Love Roger Craig. But for him to get in over guys like Beast Mode, for him to get in over guys like Frank Gore, for him to get in over guys like Fred Taylor, for him to get in over even Tiki Barber. Go look at Tiki Barber's numbers, even though I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. But just go look at these guys' numbers and their achievements, and you can say, well, he won Super Bowls. Okay, that's great. But he also had Jerry Rice on the same roster. He also had Joe Montana on the same roster. He still had Ronnie Lott on the same roster. And if you look at his span, if you're going to check this out. So if you're going to let Roger Craig in for his 4 or 5 year span, then Priest Holmes need to be a Hall of Famer as well then.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Sean
agree.
Alexander has more touchdowns than any of these guys. And Sean Alexander is not even on the ballot. And Sean Alexander has 100 rushing touchdowns, which is like 10th all time. And that's a record won't nobody really touch in a long time. Derrick Henry passed him, but it won't be any other running back for quite some time to pass him. So this one is really egregious to me because you don't let a guy like Lester Hayes, who's been on the ballot for years, not get in. Of course, Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft. But when this is my argument to you guys, not letting what's my argument, Mike? Donovan McNabb, Eli Manning, and Darren Woodson. You're not letting none of these guys. Darren Woodson's a 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and he has 3 Super Bowls. And he never changed teams. He got drafted to the Cowboys, and he was a mainstay and arguably the best defensive player they had over that span. Because Charles Haley was in and out of the Dallas Cowboy rotation because he was with the 49ers, and Deion Sanders didn't come to their last Super Bowl. Ken Norton Jr. had got traded between the 49ers and Cowboys. So he was the mainstay on that good Dallas Cowboy run, but he's not a Hall of Famer. So that's my take. I'm really disappointed in this Hall of Fame class. You don't let Eli in. You don't let Donovan McNabb in. Hines Ward, Reggie Wayne, Torrey Holt. That's my take. Go ahead, Mike. Give me your last thought on this, and I'll go around.
I think every year you're going to have reason to argue. Like, I don't hold it against the guys that get in versus the guys that don't, because no matter what year you pick, we could have had the same discussion last year with a bunch of the same names that you just brought up that should and will get in the Hall of Fame. But this first ballot, second ballot thing to me is absolutely nuts. Maybe they should expand the Hall of Fame class and induct more people at one time versus 4 or 5 every year because you're going to invariably leave out somebody that's deserving with
Okay.
that current system.
So give me your last thought on this.
The way they vote on this Hall of Fame is broken. I mean, I heard some of the voters say they left Bill and the owner of the Patriots out because once you get so many years and you haven't got in, you won't get in. So I think they said they had a window to let people like Roger Craig in this year, because if he didn't get in, he would never get in. So now, so this whole thing is broken. I don't know how they're going to fix it. But to me, after so many years, if you don't get in the fucking Hall of Fame, maybe your ass just not a Hall of Famer. Not saying you make a difference in the league, but to me, if it's been 30 years, you didn't get in, maybe you probably shouldn't get in.
But it's crazy because last year only 4 got in, and you can have as many as 7. So it's like, why y'all, let all 7 get in so we won't have this argument. And Donald, I got your last thought. This is crazy. You seen Antonio Brown have one of the most dynamic 6 years of any wide receiver, including Jerry Rice in NFL history. And he probably is not going to get in no time soon. I know he's not eligible yet, but he's probably not going to get in no time soon. What do you think about this final thought on this Hall of Fame class?
I just don't, like you said, like Soul said, you trying to just squeeze guys in, pause, here or there. You're trying to squeeze here and there. I think, but I agree with Mike. I agree with what Mike said. I think you shouldn't have a limit on how many guys you can have getting in. But if you're deserving, if you got 9 people who's deserving, let them in. If you got 3 people this year who's deserving, don't let them in. Let the guys in the Hall of Fame who are deserving, because now the further you go along, you're putting a deserving career against another deserving career. So one of them is just going to etch each other out, because not that you've not became. So if you retired in 20, you 5 years out. If 10 years go by and a guy had a better career, does that make your career less deserving? And that's what you're doing, because once you don't let guys in, you're stacking the deck against a person. I think it's unfair, because you won't get in when you really had a deserving career.
I think if you have to wait, when you say a person's name and it takes you longer than 20 seconds to decide whether or not he's a Hall of Famer, the motherfucker probably not a Hall of Famer. I mean, you know a guy's career, whether you know his stats off the top of your head. I mean, right now, let's say Roger Craig didn't get in. If we have to have a long debate why Roger Craig is not a Hall of Fame, he's probably not a Hall of Famer. Simple as that.
But Lester Hayes should be a Hall of Famer.
He should, but there's some people fall through the cracks. London Fletcher should be a Hall of Famer. There's a lot of players that probably should be in.
But it's funny that you said that. So if Roger Craig would have never got in, nobody would have been fucking scratching their head and banging on the table that he didn't get in. And that's why I think the line is being crossed. And you're right, the system it's flawed, because it's like, do you like this person? You don't like this person? Oh, he only got one more opportunity to get in. Let's get him in this year. Yeah. That's bullshit. If you're gonna let this guy get in, you kind of know if this guy is a Hall of Famer. That's why I'm really big on first ballot. Like Donald said, and so you said, if you know if this guy is a fucking Hall of Famer when he retired. Don't wait until, okay, let me see if his career, like Donald said, stacks up to this guy's career. You know if a motherfucker Hall of Famer or not. Why are we waiting 30 and 40 years to let a motherfucker in? Not letting LC Greenwood in the Hall of Fame, and I know that's the 1970s dynasty of the Pittsburgh Steelers, but you let other guys on that Pittsburgh Steelers team get in, but you don't let this guy get in. You don't let Darren Woodson, who was on a historical Dallas Cowboy dynasty in the early 90s, not letting guys like that, not letting Randall Cunningham in the Hall of Fame when you only got one African-American quarterback, not letting Donovan McNabb, not letting Williams get in. And every year that go by is another year that we're not going to see these guys get into the Hall of Fame. And then just because you don't like a motherfucker, Antonio Brown not going to get in, even though Antonio Brown's one of the best wide receivers that anybody has ever fucking seen.
Yeah, that dude was a dog.
But he's going to fuck around and not get in because we don't fucking like him. And I don't dislike the motherfucker, but I didn't like him because he played for the Steelers, but I couldn't deny when he kicked the shit out of my kicker. Remember he drop kicked the kicker on that punt return? I'll never forget. He drop kicked the shit out of him like he was playing Tekken 2. And he drop kicked the shit out of that kicker. And I'm like, is that not a fucking penalty? You can't drop kick a motherfucker with cleats in the chest. But nevertheless, man, I think it's flawed. They got to get this right. There's a lot of guys that should be in. And the guys that I named with nobody scratched their head, it'll actually go crazy in Canton if any of his guys I just named would get inducted. But Roger Craig getting in, I can't wait to meet him. He was one of the best players I've ever seen, but he wasn't the best running back. He's not even a top 30 running back in NFL history.
No.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hey man, I just happen to have this NBA on, and I gotta ask y'all this question because I'm watching this guy shoot these free throws, and it's a tragic looking sight. Robinson, that plays for the Knicks,
Yeah.
is tragically dysfunctional at the free throw line. Who is the worst form on a free throw that you've ever seen in your life?
Go ahead, so cause I got one for you.
Who's the player? Did he go to Kentucky? Small forward. Couldn't shoot worth a damn. Good
Michael
defense.
Kidd Gilchrist Jr.
His was pretty fucking bad. I'll go with him.
Donald, who you think?
I got Chuck Hayes. He was traveling at the free throw line.
I'm gonna go a little bit older. I'm gonna go with Odin Polynice. That shit was ugly. He was left-handed, or Bill Cartwright. Bill Cartwright or Odin Polynice?
Well, you just mentioned Cartwright. Cartwright was about a 70% free throw shooter. It's just that swinging motion to shoot was just crazy. I don't know where that came from. But the worst person I ever saw was Dudley for the New Jersey Nets. His shit was, it almost looked like he had some type of psychological problem at the free throw line. But he was the worst. But this dude Robinson, I don't know how you play basketball and can't put up a formed a free throw, like a form, just boom, boom.
Hey, Mike, you know who got a fucked up form right now? Y'all probably don't. Have y'all watched Kingston Fleming shoot free throws?
Right now,
I got a post that just put his highlights up. His free throw shot is quite ugly. He be like, what the fuck is you doing? It's like he bringing it out of his pocket and shoot. Like, how the fuck are you? But a lot of these kids, you know, when you coach sports, when they're little, they can't get the ball up, and then they never change their. Right. That's why Lonzo Ball's form was so fucked up, because the ball was too heavy and they played such a high level at an early age. Did y'all ever? That's how Allen Iverson's shot was fucked up for a long time, because he was so good at an early age. But it's the Bubba Chuck. That's where he got the name from, because he couldn't get the ball up. But this is what we're here for, guys. Super Bowl Sunday is upon us, and it's bittersweet, guys. It's really bittersweet because it's about to be over, man. Can y'all believe another season is going to be in the books? It's another season, and Cleveland Browns are not in the Super Bowl again for the 60th time in a row.
Some things never change.
The Browns ain't in the Super Bowl. We 0 for 60 in this motherfucker.
But you're very consistent.
Hey, either you're consistently good or you're consistently bad, but we fucking consistent. Donald, man, we got the Seattle Seahawks, man, against the Patriots. The Seahawks are a 4.5-point favorite, but I think they got New England as the home team, I believe. I don't think it fucking matters. It's in a neutral field. But talk to me, Donald. Who wins this game and why?
I got Seattle. Honestly, man, I got Seattle winning about 31-7.
Whoa!
I just think that the Seattle, the way they playing right now, I don't believe that Sam Darnold actually has to go and win the game. I believe he's highly capable, because I just seen him really ball out. But I don't even think it comes down to. I believe that that the Seattle defense is good enough to smother the New England's offense. And I want to hopefully Drake may surprise me so we can see some good football. But this is the worst. This is the worst quarterback run I've seen to make it to the playoffs in any run I've ever seen. He's played the worst I've ever seen a person make it to the Super Bowl. Hopefully he plays better today so we can see a better game. But if he plays the same, I can see Seattle beating them about 31-7.
I'm about to get you. So this is the question. He is only one vote away from being the MVP this year, and he did play. Every defense that he played was a top 6 defense, including the one he's about to face today. Chargers was 6. Houston was 1, Denver was 2, and I think Seattle was 5. So does that play a part in him not playing well?
I believe so, because the defense is good too. But he just played worse quarterbacks. I mean, not worse as I'm not gonna say they're not that good. Play people who played worse than him. Herbert couldn't stand up for longer than 2 seconds. He played terrible. CJ Stroud was just awful, and then Stinksma, Sean Payton, they didn't even attempt, or they couldn't do nothing. So he doesn't play good football at all, which I understand it's a team game and the best team wins and not the best player.
Yeah, it's crazy. Them defenses are pretty. That D, they was bringing a lot of D against Drake May. So who you like in this one? Seattle Seahawks, 4.5-point favorite over the New England Patriots. Patriots trying to go for 7 Super Bowls. Seattle trying to go for 2. Sam Darnold trying to get his name in the record book. What's going on, so?
Gonna be a very good, entertaining football game. I mean, you got what the Seahawks went through, man. I mean, they got rid of the quarterback last year, brought in a new quarterback, got rid of the number one wide receiver, brought in. I mean, they already had JSN was already there. It's gonna be an interesting game. Sam Darnold, I think he gets his first Super Bowl. Who knows? It's going to be his last. You never know. I think that Seattle defense is going to give Drake May hell. I don't think there's going to be a snowstorm that's going to save that offense of Patriots today. I don't like that offense. I really don't like it. I know everyone talks about Cardi B's man. He's just in that. But that offense sputters throughout the whole playoffs. They got some spots here and there where they got short fields. But I think if they have to straight up play a football game without turnovers, and I don't think Sam Darnold is going to give them turnovers today. And I really like their Seattle special teams. And I got Seattle winning this football game and JSN being the MVP.
Give me a score. Give me a score. So
I'm gonna go Seattle 28. I'm gonna go 28-17.
28-7. Okay. Michael, the people chat, man, talk to me about this game. Your guy, Sam Darnold, your comeback player of the year, favorite player, known to man. When you went on the show, they said if we said Sam Darnold 3 times his name, you was gonna show up like Candyman on a. Who you like in this game, Mike?
Well, you just already said it. I really don't need to say a whole lot. The Fighting Sam Darnolds will win this game. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than what the people think. I think it'll be maybe 24-17, 24-21, somewhere in that neighborhood. I do think that May is going to play well. I think that the Patriot defense is to be reckoned with. I don't know why they don't get enough credit. Donald talks about all those games that they played, that Drake May didn't play well in. Well, his defense played better than the other teams, and going against those defenses is challenging in a snowstorm. So, who knows? But I got to be about 24-21 in a really good game, and that the Seattle wins the ball game. But I do think we're going to have an entertaining Super Bowl.
Okay, Richard Norvell, of course, you know who he's going with. He's a Patriot fan through and through. One of the few that I know. He said Sam Darnold led the league in turnovers this year. He did, but he had 0 turnovers in the playoffs. Sam Darnold has absolutely 0 turnovers in the playoffs, and that's what fucking matter. Regular season is regular season. Postseason is a whole different season. And, I'm not a big Sam Darnold fan, but when you don't have no turnovers, you can win games. In this particular matchup, I got to go with Seattle. I think it's going to be, I'm with Donald, I think it's going to be like a 38-13 thumping. Reason being, if you look at Seattle, what they had, how they had drafted the last 3 fucking years, we rave over Kansas City's GM and the Eagles GM, but the Seattle GM got something brewing. First of all, they drafted Rick White III. When they drafted him, I knew it was up. Hometown hero. Can't believe a guy that I knew as a baby and I know is about to win a Super Bowl. That right there within itself is heartwarming for me. My best friend growing up, that was his son. We talked about shit like this when we were kids, never thought that it would happen. But the thing, they drafted Witherspoon, they drafted Emin, they drafted Cross, JSN, Kenneth Walker. All these guys are homegrown. Royal, the tight end, Banter, the tight end. They drafted pretty much everybody on their offensive line. They really didn't go into the free agent pool except for Sam Darnold, except for Leonard Williams. Almost everybody, Ernest Jones, but everybody else pretty much is drafted by this organization in the last 3 years. I looked up they draft like, God damn, did they draft Kobe Turner, Talik Woolens. These are guys that they drafted, and this is before they got Mike McDonald as the head coach. They did this under Pete Carroll. So can Pete Carroll get a little bit of praise for putting some of these pieces together? But I think that Mike McDonald and the GM right now got a lot of kudos for believing in Sam Darnold, getting him really on a basement bargain because they only making $30 million. If you got a quarterback that's only making $30 million and you can win a Super Bowl with a quarterback making, it's kind of like he's on his rookie deal. You still can do it multiple years. And to get rid of DK Metcalf was a very bold statement. Who gets rid of your best receiver? Who does that? who they thought was his best receiver, and it's paying complete dividend and bringing in Cooper Kupp, guys like that. So Seattle wins. It's not going to even be close. No disrespect to you, Richard Novell, but I just don't think it's going to be close. Sam Darnold's not going to turn the ball over, and that was been his Achilles heel all year. Only team that I felt like really had a chance to beat him was the Rams, and they just didn't get it done. That's the only team I thought that was able to beat Seattle, and I don't think New England stands a chance. It's 38-13, no disrespect, but Drake May got a lot of brighter days ahead of him. It's only his second year. But we said that about Dan Marino, and Dan Marino never made it back. Dan Marino never made it fucking back.
You know how crazy that sound? He's only making $30 million.
No, I get what you said, but
no, I see what you're saying. I'm just saying life. I'm just saying life.
$60 million.
Right. I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, just like in real life, to say it's only 30. Man, listen, them boys making a lot of money.
Yeah, and it's crazy though that we say that, because I remember 30 million. You say 30, a quarterback was making 30 million 30 years ago. You thought the world was about to explode, but the $30 million quarterback is a bargain, and then they still got an option. If he doesn't play well next year, they can cut this motherfucker and not lose. They can start all over.
Joey, think about 30 million. Imagine these owners that are paying these quarterbacks 50 and 60 million. They ain't making the playoffs. They probably feeling worse.
Let's start there, and then we'll get out of here because we over 2 hours. So there are quarterbacks at home. Joe Burrow's making upward of 55 million. Tua, they about to trade this motherfucker. Kyler Murray making 50 plus. They about to trade him. You got quarterbacks not even making the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Dak Prescott not making the playoffs. Lamar Jackson not making the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes not making the playoffs. What's the future in NFL? Are you gonna start seeing, because it's a monkey see, monkey do? Or are you gonna see more teams that go try to find the Sam Darnold rather than paying quarterbacks a large sum of money?
No, I think the quarterback money is going to continue to go up. We got to do better in the front office. You have to hit on the draft, bro. If you don't hit on the draft, you have to build your team through the draft, because once your quarterback rookie deal is up, if he's that dude, he's gonna get a lot of money. So it's all about the draft. So it's very important that you get that right, and if you get that right, then you can win some Super Bowls with your high-paid quarterbacks.
Okay, Mike, do you think that everybody's gonna go into the formula of finding their Sam Darnold, or potentially going after a quarterback that's been shopped around and thinking they can win with a basement bargain deal? You think that's going to be the trend in the NFL right now going forward?
No, I don't foresee that being a trend in the NFL. Finding a quarterback is already challenging as it can be. Then sifting through the rubble and trying to find a diamond in the rough is even more challenging. And so unless you're just going to take the New York Jets quarterback after 4 years, which seems to be a formula that does work. I mean, Geno Smith left there. He had some good years. Sam Darnold left there. He's having good years. The only person that left that I don't know if he's going to have some good years is Zach Wilson, but at least 66%, if you take those three, will give you some good years. But outside of that, I don't know of a franchise that's spitting out quarterbacks that, or Minnesota. Minnesota has a tendency to get rid of quarterbacks that, whether it's Kirk Cousins and now Sam Darnold, that can help elevate teams. But outside of those two franchises, no, I don't see that as a winning formula.
Don't forget about Dante Culpepper. Remember, they shipped him off to Miami.
Yeah, true.
Shipped him off to Miami. Donald, what do you think about that? Is it going to be a trend? Because the NFL is a monkey see, monkey do type of organ. Teams are like, oh, well, this worked for them. Let's try to push for us. Sometimes you got to have your own identity. Do you think that teams are going to go New England's way of the second-year quarterback, or they're going to do the Seattle way, depending on who wins the Super Bowl? We're trying to find a quarterback for a basement bargain deal.
I mean, I think quarterbacks are always going to continue to get drafted high. So then you got a 3 or 4 year window in the first contract to know if you want to pay them. Now, if they sign a stopgap quarterback, which like Sam Darnold was here, and if you hit on them, okay, so be it. But I do think like that I don't think this contract here, Sam Darnold's not going to be on this contract next year. But I think they're going to scrap this, and you're going to pay me. So I think the quarterback money is going to continue to go up, and the people will pay their guys once they're proven in their system. But I don't think people are going to say, well, well, we're gonna go against drafting Arch Manning next year to have to pay him. We're gonna go with this guy. No, I don't think that'll happen.
Hold on, but Donald, so you're saying that guys like Sam Darnold would potentially hold out because that's what he would have to potentially do if they don't give him a contract. But he's technically under contract. You see a Sam Darnold win the Super Bowl and potentially holding out because he's looking for the $50 million a year or $60 million a year.
If he go, if he does that, because it's 1 year on the contract after this, right?
Yes.
I believe he's gonna go and let them know, y'all gonna pay me
No,
now.
he got 2 years after this.
Okay, he got now with 2 years. I thought it was 1 year. 2 years is a little different situation because it's kind of harder to push your weight around with 2 years. But I can see him holding out like y'all gonna pay me, or depending on the organization may honor him like, here, we gonna do this. We gonna do this now because it may be cheaper to sign him after this year than the next year or two when the market is set anyway. So if the organization is smart and feel like we got our guy, it may make sense. He took us to the Super Bowl, win or lose. Let's just scrap this contract we got now, and we can pay him at that $60 million before somebody comes up next year and getting 70, 75. You got to match the market.
It's crazy. I don't know no quarterback that's going to be worthy of that because we thought it would be C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young that reset the market, but neither one of those guys have done enough to reset the market. But they better hurry up because if Drake May can duplicate what he did this year and get better, he's going to be the guy that really resets the market. He'll be making $80 million before we know it.
Him and Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams is another one. Not Jaden Daniels.
If he stays healthy, yeah.
Because but Bo Nix,
Mike,
Bo Nix, he could be in the Super Bowl right now if he didn't get injured. But it's a lot of quarterbacks that's looking to reset the market. But once we talk about the quarterback thing, and it's crazy. We're more focused on quarterbacks going forward than the actual Super Bowl. It's crazy work to me. But when we're looking at the dynamics of the quarterback position, Mike, is Sam Darnold, like, that's the ultimate crapshoot that you actually hit on. Whether Sam Darnold wins or loses the Super Bowl, the Seattle Seahawks won. Let's be real. The Seattle Seahawks has won, and they really never – you got to think, Seattle was never really a bad team. They just retooled. Like, even Russell Wilson years, remember, they got rid of him. They did a little bad, but it wasn't horrible. They get Geno Smith. They wasn't horrible. I think Geno Smith actually had a winning record with Seattle. People go back and look at it. He actually had a winning record. He just couldn't – remember, he made the playoffs the first one of the years, and then he didn't make it last year, but he was 10-7 when he didn't make it. It was just the NFC was stacked. So I think the recycling of quarterbacks, I think a lot of teams are going to try that, Mike. I know you say that it's not the form, but I think it's going to be some quarterbacks that try that. Look at Daniel Jones' success he had with the coach, even though he didn't finish the year. And you said it, like I always say, your best ability is availability. He wasn't available down the stretch. He did get hurt again, which now this becomes a trend for Daniel Jones is getting hurt at a lot of places he was at. Let's see if they continue to put their money on that. But, man, magnificent show, guys. Magnificent, like, for real, magnificent show today, man. Where did Mike go? Magnificent show.
Fade to black.
And we definitely are going to he should be back to get his final thought, but we definitely should be in for a very entertaining game. I think the halftime show is going to get more buzz because of the Bad Bunny situation where America's under siege right now. That's crazy how America is really under siege. All this civil war bullshit going on. And I'm going to say this before we get to our final thought. It's crazy work to say that these people, we need to keep illegal aliens out when ain't none of us fucking, everybody in this country is a fucking illegal alien.
Except for Native Americans. That's it.
That's and they get pushed off. It's crazy. Whoever got the pen can write the story.
Yeah.
Whoever got the pen can write the story. And whoever dictates that, but everybody in this motherfucker, white and black, we are both illegal fucking aliens. And we came to a country and took this motherfucker over. Now we're not gonna let the Latin Americans or the Mexican Americans come. Listen, man, let everybody in this country. It's gonna be criminals everywhere.
Yeah,
but that's a whole different show. That's a political show.
We can go 2 hours on that alone.
Yeah, I go 2 hours on a lot of stuff. So
I don't have that many moves. I can't go 2 hours. I got 5 good moves. That's it, bro.
Hey, so I was in the gym. So they like, I've been working out. So I had my pre-workout. They be like, oh shit, that's as good as Viagra. I'm gonna tell you that shit right now. Go get you some of that superhuman. You think you're on Viagra? Well, I'm strong like bull. But anyway, great shit today, man. We be back tomorrow. I can't wait till I can drop this news to y'all. I'm not gonna. It's hard for me to. It's so much that y'all have no idea. I want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart on Against the Grain Sport, because we got something that's about to blow the top off this motherfucker. I'm telling you, it's real. It's, you know, when you about to, hey Mike, you know about that 7, you in that 6th stroke, and that's how I feel right now, and I just can't say nothing.
It's more like that 6.5 stroke when you
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Hey, Jody, Mike. I had an uncle that tell me when you get ready to nut, you gotta pull your nuts down. That makes you slow down the nut process. I don't know if that actually works, but I had an uncle that told me that. I don't think that works, but he told me just pull your nuts.
Did he ever tell you to get on your tippy toes and speed it up?
I've heard that one too.
Yo, hey, I'm Donald's uncle, and I'm never getting that type of advice. Do what the fuck you do and make it happen. Shit. I am out there, and I do not want to picture my nephew in any kind of compromising position. I'm pretty sure you don't want to picture his uncle doing it, because I definitely want to picture Saul or Mike. Mike is, I definitely, God damn it, let me get off this topic. Hey, Donald, man, give me your final thought, man, as we get out of here, bro.
My final thought is disgusting actions of the NBA. I'm always pro player and pro athlete. So the Brooklyn Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, they told Cam Thomas they wasn't going to pay him. You know, you go by in the NBA, you go by if my numbers are this, I deserve this is market value. They didn't pay the guy. They bring him back this year. They don't give him the shots. They don't run plays for him. They're not playing him as much. They devalue the guy all the way up until last week. They actually cut him. Therefore, you devalue a guy. Therefore, he'll never make the money he was supposed to make, and he was team all the way through. He said, "Okay, I'll play on this contract for the minimum. I'll go and improve myself." You devalue the guy, so he can't prove himself. So now I want to tell all the guys out there: if you're ever in these things, do what's best for you. These companies will not do what's best for you. And it sounds selfish, but at the same time, they don't care about none of that. Do what's best for you first. If it takes holding out, whatever it takes to get your money, you get your money, because a lot of things is you work your whole life to get there, and that money got to last you maybe the rest of your life if you're not business savvy, or if you just don't want to work no more, and that's what you work for to enjoy your money, your life. So don't let them do that to you and devalue you. Always use your upper hand in the frame.
Hey, good shit, Donald. For real, good shit. Soul on Sports, man. Give me your final thoughts as we get out of here.
This for you, Jody. It was an NFL draft 2022. Probably one of the worst quarterback drafts of ever. We had Kenny Pickett, first round, and probably shouldn't have been. Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy seemed like the best quarterback out of that draft. But in the 3rd round, Malik Willis from Liberty was drafted, athletic quarterback. Some people call him a Tubi version of Michael Vick. Didn't get good coaching in Tennessee. He moved on to the Green Bay Packers, where he thrived in that offense. Got some good quarterback coaching, played well when the starter got hurt. Now he's a free agent. So we talk about quarterbacks that may make $30, $40 million next year. Maybe Malik Willis can be that guy if it's the right coaching and the right situation. We'll see what he can get done.
Hey, good shit right there. That's good. Hey, we on fire today. I know Mike got something crazy for us, man. I told y'all this, when Mike about to give his final thoughts, like watching an Avenger movie, you better not leave until you see that final
credits
insert at the end. Mike, give me your final thought.
Well, this statement. This is going to be a final thought. We're a week before Valentine's Day, so I'm going to give a statement of love. And love can be warm, love can be kind, but sometimes love can be tough. But tough love is love all the same. And so General Sherman went through Atlanta. If you're from Atlanta, if you're from the South, you know what Sherman did to Atlanta. He burnt the whole thing down. Just burnt the whole city down and whatnot. And that's kind of what's happening with my Coleman brethren. We marched through Columbus and burnt that down. We marched through Durham and we burnt that down. Sam Darnold is about to win a Super Bowl and we're about to burn that down. And when Jaylen Brown wins the MVP, we will have decimated the entire Coleman establishment. And I don't do it with malice. I only bring this to you in love.
That's crazy work. I like that. That's good shit, though. I like how you did that there. Hey, my final thought is Black History Month. And I think that why we got the shortest month, I don't understand. But Black History Month, and it also ends the end of the NFL season that was as explosive as any other season in history. But I want to give y'all a football fact that nobody really knows about or really talk about. We talk about Doug Williams being the first African-American quarterback to win a Super Bowl, but we don't talk about the first African-American to win a playoff game. His name was Shaq Harris for the LA Rams. He actually was the first African-American quarterback, and I believe it was 74 to win a playoff game. He actually had a decent career with the LA Rams. He actually came from the same school. He came from Grambling right before Doug Williams got there. So they had a rich tradition of quarterbacks come out of Grambling. But nobody talks about Shaq Harris in the record books, but he was the first African-American quarterback to actually win a playoff game. And he actually, I think he lost he was in the playoffs first. And that's the first team that really gave a quarterback an opportunity to really go out there. So look up Shaq Harris, man. HBCU, great. First African-American to win a playoff game. He doesn't get the pub because he didn't win it all like Doug Williams. But look that guy up. And also the first African-American quarterback that played in the NFL that really got an opportunity. His name was Briscoe. He played quarterback for the Denver Broncos, and then they moved him to wide receiver. Wow, imagine that. And then let's not forget about the guy that played quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers before in relief of Terry Bradshaw, and he got crosses burnt on his yard. He went 4-1 as a starter and to never play football again because he was ran out of Pittsburgh. Those are Black history facts that we need to talk about, and we wouldn't be able to talk about the Dak Prescotts of the world, the Patrick Mahomes, the Russell Wilsons. What's our favorite quarterback over there with the Steelers? I mean, not Steelers, but the Philadelphia Eagles. What's his name?
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. We won't be able to talk about these guys, but we can because of who did things in yesteryear. So big shout out to guys like Warren Moon, the only African-American quarterback in the Hall of Fame. Randall Cunningham, who changed the game as we know it. Michael Vick, the first African-American quarterback to be drafted #1 overall. Doug Williams was the first African-American quarterback to be drafted in the first round. I think he was drafted number 17 to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I just want to give y'all a little historical information on a lot of quarterbacks that we don't talk about. Shaq Harris. Look him up, guys. First African-American quarterback to win a playoff game was Shaq Harris. That's my final thought. So I'm Jody Coleman of Against the Grain Sports Podcast. Uncut, man. We here with my man Michael, the People's Champ Perry, who loves regular season victories.
I was postseason victory, my friend, but anywho, and tell your nephew I got these extra mediums over here waiting for his selection.
I cannot wait for that shit. I cannot wait.
It's coming soon, man. Oh,
it's good sportsmanship.
Now,
I love it, man.
Donald, you gotta wear it on the show too. You can't just be wearing it.
No, the truck. That's gonna be the only time I wear it. I ain't trying to get it thrown at me nowhere. It's
crazy. They're gonna get hit in the face like the fans at the end of that game. It's crazy. You rush the court in a rivalry like that. Anyway, that's crazy. You rush the court after victory like that.
You know what's up.
Soul on Sports, man. My guy Jarrell Soul on Sports, Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. Me and Mike gonna come down there and lynch you out here in that good weather. This nigga got brisket and shit on I can't even get out into my backyard to my grill, and this nigga up here motherfucking got brisket and shit, Polish sausage. You know I love me a motherfucking shaboinky. You know I love y'all know I love a glizzy.
I'm about to make lasagna up here because we gotta have shit you can put in the oven somewhere. And this motherfucker's out
75 degrees, baby.
Hey, Mike making lasagna, Soul making barbecue. I'm gonna make some macaroni and cheese today, though.
Oh, hey, I like that. It's gonna be extra. It's gonna be extra gooey. That's why.
Hey, that shit. I'm gonna stir that motherfucker like Kool-Aid. Anyway, we got Donald, man, my nephew, the voice of youth, always bringing it the real shit. Ray, more than just a barber. Lindsay, Andrew, Mike, Jason, the hefty lefty, man. We can't do none of this shit without Jay Kane, the chef, cooking it up in the kitchen. Mike, man, since you won, you get the end of the show. What we doing till tomorrow, man?
All right, we working.
See y'all tomorrow. Peace.